It's the 74th channel out of my 75 channels.
That
I'm
was
pretty
good.
sure. Yeah, I mean, I've been having fun with this little banter, making fun of Tokyo Skimp because he always brings us up so often. So, you know, part of my whole CIA ties and the whole DARPA funding which we get.
Oh
That's why
yeah,
we have
because
to. Oh,
we're
oh, oh
because
shit,
we're all
we're
in the
live.
military.
Oh shit, Tokyo's gonna find out.
Hey, bro, did you start
No,
your teleprompter?
Oh yeah.
we
Oh
just got
shit,
our
let me get the teleprompter going. All right.
we just got our DARPA emails, so we know what to do.
Oh yeah, he's gonna love it because now we got Slow News Day with us. He's really gonna have fun with this, especially since he feels like Steve is like the biggest plant of them all. I mean, according to him, like Steve was the third man on the grassy knoll.
Oh, he's
I
definitely
am
watching this
that
one.
old.
Well, I guess I'll go on ahead and get us started. Hello and welcome, everybody. This is the Political Matrix. I am your host, Marcus Young Morpheus Cage, here with my friends, colleagues, brethren. As you guys can see, I got very special guests. I got Glory Jones and I got Steve Poikonen, the man here from Slow News Day. And then, of course, you guys know the team, Chris, L, Emmanuel. First, I'll start off with our guests. Glory, Steve, how are you all doing tonight?
Good, man. Good.
I'm doing.
Thanks for having both of us back on. It's good to be back on here.
Yeah, it's nice
It's
to
always
be
fun
on.
to have you. Always fun to have you on here. I guess I'll go in with my boy E. How's it doing in the A these days?
Shit. I guess I don't know I don't actually quite know how to describe it. Like the CIA is apparently good now to this white person, and like my head hurts and I'm confused.
Because if you don't trust
Like the
the
CIA did nothing.
then who do
Right,
you
the
trust?
CIA has apparently done nothing wrong, according to this one white dude. And
Which white dude? There's so many.
he was speaking to Nico, I think.
Yeah. There was a clip with Nico when they were debating and they were talking
what's
about
up, Jay?
the CIA came up and Nico was like, I don't know how to explain to you the fact that the CIA is nefarious or some shit like that. And he was like,
yeah.
But if you don't trust the CIA, then who do you trust?
Whoa. If you don't trust the CIA, I mean, literally, the CIA, I mean, even in the movies, they don't even project them in a positive light. How are you going to expect this to for real?
And they're involved. The Pentagon is involved.
They don't even project themselves in a positive light.
Take it seriously unless they're the bad guys.
Exactly. And now we got her the whisper in the machine speaking. How are we doing tonight, Elle?
Doing all right. Had a long week of work because of the holidays coming up, which are a no-go at my job. So back in the day, I could have worked during the holidays because I worked in retail. Fun fact. Office Depot, shout out to what's actually Office Max now. But back then it was Office Depot, and I would work every Xmas and Black Friday. I've been through that shit. So I feel for all those employees who get fucked up during those holidays. And the theater. I worked at the movie theater also, and that was a big holiday job back in the day. So now I don't do holiday jobs anymore. So
yeah,
I'm good.
I delivered pizza on the holidays.
Oh wow, what do we got here?
Is this the white kid?
Oh Lord. Hunter was it Avalon?
I guess so.
And Misha says, what a fire panel. Hello to everybody. Jack, Barry, and Misha, all of our friends out there.
Yeah, I can't hear the clip if whoever's trying to play it.
Oh no, I didn't play it.
Oh, you didn't play it yet?
Yeah.
Well, we can't play the clip until we talk to Deacon Chris yet. I mean, do we need to pass around a collection plate first? I mean, I can pass the plate around first.
Fuck grace.
He's coming to
No.
spread us a good word.
The
Where is his
favor.
Bible? I do not see his Bible.
No, look, I'm going broke over here, so I figured, I may as well look. If you can't be a politician, be a preacher, right?
Hey.
Yeah.
It's very lucrative.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, if you can't be a slimy politician, the next best thing to be a slimy preacher. So come on down to the Church of Christ. Like,
Come
we just gotta
on.
make we take
Tax
coins,
exemption time. Tax exemption.
This is my season for grace.
Are you praying for Ghislaine?
For favor.
Oh, yeah. And we got to lay the hands on the hallelujah.
Exactly.
You gotta turn to your neighbor and tell him, neighbor, I'm getting
Neighbor?
this season.
I haven't been to church since I was a child. That's funny.
If I walk into the dang thing, it might burn down.
Oh, it will if I do.
Real story. I went to Rome once, right? A couple years ago. And I went to the Vatican and I was saying like, yo, this might be my last day, on the planet. Cause as soon as I cross this threshold, this motherfucker gonna fall down. Like I'm one of the most sinful people you're gonna meet. But I'm here. So, it didn't work. But in hindsight, I probably should try to take it down myself. That was an
The
interesting
devil,
trip.
the Pope wasn't home.
Exactly. I don't know. He was on the Lolita Express, I think, that day.
Ooh.
Allegedly. Maybe.
Get
really.
Trying to get some man boy love.
Exactly. But
Oh,
this is the
man.
clip. But look, this is the clip that Eve referenced earlier with Nico and and CIA dude. Listen.
CIA is nefarious. Like literally the same intelligence community that was responsible for the overthrowing multiple.
If you don't trust the CIA, then who do you trust? If you don't trust like our intelligence systems, then who do you trust?
Do you genuinely trust the CIA?
I'm asking you who you trust.
Do you trust?
Do you trust them 50%?
What I trust the CIA.
Well, you said
I'm
it.
a black man in America.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm genuinely curious.
Wait, so if you don't trust the CIA or you don't trust like our institutions, then what do you trust? Who do you trust?
That are gathered through primary sources, and
Is the CIA not ever a primary source? Do you think maybe the CIA has access to information that we as the regular public doesn't?
Lies for a living, Hunter. I don't know how else can I explain this to you. They lie for a living.
I just don't think you realize how silly you sound when you say, I don't trust the CIA, I just trust hard data. Like, how do you know? How do you find that? How do you know? If you don't trust our institutions, then who the fuck do you trust?
Hold on.
So.
Oh yeah, you got to remember to mute when you play, Chris. That way it'll cut the echo.
Oh shit! Sorry about that, guys. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, good.
But I don't know if you heard it. But just that homeboy said that you can't trust the CIA. But what I thought was ironic about the clip was when he said, "Is the CIA ever the primary source?" Yes, they are the primary source of the bullshit. That's the part he forgot.
Yes, they are primary.
Torture.
Oh, I guess so. I guess I'll go on ahead and give the topics for those. I don't know if you guys have seen the thumbnail. Hopefully, if you clicked on the video. But tonight we got some topics to talk about, and I could not have Slow News Day on here and not talk about the huge Assange news that's been going on. So glad to be able to have Glory and have Steve here to get into that. Also, their knowledge combined with Chris and Elle's knowledge about Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. We're going to get all into that. We're going to break it down for the people who do not know, like in detail about this. We're going to talk about it. We're going to go in. And then for a little bit of fun, Chris has a little punching he wants to do at Jussie, or as I call him, Jussie Smollet. So And I see we have Cryo Sent in the building. And who is that? Serious Bag 007. Haven't seen you before, but welcome to the show. So, Chris, would you like to lead us in with a little bit about our friend Jussie and Don Lemon Squats?
Yo,
Do
look,
we need to bow our
I didn't.
heads? I haven't been in a while.
Yeah.
Yes, because I'm about to take y'all to church right now. On
Let me
this
raise my right
subject,
hand towards the altar here.
Do I need to do one of those Catholics upside down crosses that they do?
No, hold on, look, right? Not important topic. I know we have like important shit to get to, and we will. So just bear with us as we get these jokes off. So, Jussie Smollett. He was convicted this week of lying about, being beat up and all that other shit, right? Cool, whatever. Come to find out, and I didn't really know this until I think maybe yesterday. Homeboy had a relationship with one of the dudes he paid to fuck his ass up. Like, I had no clue that they were intimate on some kind of level, right? So
They just masturbated
that-
together. That's nothing.
Oh,
That's normal. There's nothing gay
I
about
guess
that.
Now here's the thing, though.
Come on, Chris.
From the time that story came across everyone's phones, right? If you possess any kind of common sense, when you heard it, you knew that something was off with it. It didn't sound right. What are your rich ass doing walking the subway at 3 o'clock in the morning, first of all? Right from that, for me, from that from that point, it was like, all right, everything else sounds funny money. So fast forward, he's convicted. Anybody at the time who raised the issue and said that this story sounds funny, I'm not all behind him, you were attacked, especially from the Democratic Party and the quote left. You were anti-gay, you were homophobic, you were transphobic, you hated God, you hated my church, like, but now here we are. His ass lied the whole time. And that community is largely very silent on the matter. So I just want to actually just point that out. Instead of them saying, damn, dog, we took a L, that was bad, nah, they're very quiet on this matter. And they're trying to be supportive of him. But I really I don't like that shit too much, But that's all I wanted to say is, like, when that community starts crying too much, you don't have to jump on their side of things. You could just wait until information comes out. They like to act. And that's it, Marcus. I got my Mayweather jabs
you
off.
got your punches off. I won't
Yeah.
lie. I was one of those people who jumped straight in and was like defending him right off the bat until I heard information. Because you know how a lot of people are in a rush to be first. And I was one of those people at that time. Thank God I've come around and I'm not doing that stupid shit anymore. But I'll fix this eventually. Camera, there we go. That's a little better. But I was one of those people who was like quick to defend him, and then they were like, "Yeah, he was going to Subway at 3 a.m." I'm like, "What? Subway at 3 a.m?" Because see, I got it mixed in my head. I thought they were talking about like he was on a subway, and I was like, "Wait a minute, we're talking about Chicago. They got the L train. They don't have subways. Wait a minute, he's going to literally go get a 6-inch. Well, not that kind of 6-inch, but you guys go."
He was dealing
I'll
with some
just shut up. I'm gonna get myself in trouble.
Marcus, he was dealing with some Nigerians. I doubt they serve 6 inches there. Okay.
Oh yeah, he getting a full foot long, I guess.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry for those who are joining us. We normally behave more than this.
No, we don't.
I don't know. Chris's demonic energy from church service today has infected us all. Casting out too many demons. Oh man. Whew. All right, catch my breath now.
I got demons in my photo in my avatar.
Oh, what's that?
I have demons in my avatar. if
Yeah,
we're talking
yeah,
about
you do. And we're
you
we're
can
gonna
That's a
talk.
good
exercise.
segue.
We're definitely
That
gonna
was a
talk
good
about a lot
segue.
of demons coming up. That's for damn sure. But I felt like we should get right on to
I
get
wanted
on
to
to
say
a more
something about Jussie Smollet. Can
yeah.
I say
We
something?
we can leave Sommelier alone for now. But I figure let's switch gears for a second and get into a much more serious subject. Um, with the recent news which came out about Assange and the U.S. and extradition, they granted the extradition to the U.S. Last I heard. Glory, Steve, hop in and let me know if there's been anything that's changed since last I've heard on that.
Um, it's I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a bunch of complicated legal procedural stuff because basically what's happening is he's not actually being extradited. What's happening is the case, the U.S. appeal was granted, it was allowed, but what's going to happen now is the case is going to go back to the magistrate's court, and then that's going to be up to the UK Home Secretary, which is like Privy Patel or something like that. I don't know her name, but whoever the
Oh
UK,
no! Damn.
whoever the UK
Okay, go
Home
ahead, guys.
Secretary is, the case is kind
Oh
of
God.
yeah.
Well, so his attorneys immediately appealed the decision. That has to go to the UK Supreme Court. The UK Supreme Court has 14 days after they get it, which they're going to take 90 to respond to it, at which point, per Home Secretary Priti Patel's decision, the Supreme Court will decide whether or not to hear that appeal. If they do, then there'll be a whole process in the Supreme Court. If they don't, then it gets kicked back
To
to the
the
district court and
magistrates.
the magistrate. And then it has the ability to take essentially the entire 2+ years that it has to get to this point. This is something that they can do with multiple appeals. This is something, or they can push forward with extradition and fast track. Priti Patel is not a fan of Julian.
Yeah,
So
or
let me ask
or
you.
Nope.
good journalists.
I
Yeah.
have a question.
Oh, she is.
I,
She is. Mm-mm.
real
Go
quick, I have a question for Stephen Glory. Um, is Julian gonna end up like Mumia Abu Jamal?
I'm glad you brought that up because that's literally my fear with the case. Essentially, at this moment, that's kind of what it's looking like because the way the appeal process is set up, essentially, what can happen is the US can file meaningless appeal after meaningless appeal after meaningless appeal that gets heard and bounced all around courts to the point where Julian doesn't even need to be extradited, but he'll remain in Belmarsh prison for an infinite amount of time until he eventually, dies in there.
where
So
we're doing what we've done for Mumia before, which is scream our freaking heads off when the guy needs medical treatment. We found out earlier today that before the October 27th hearing, Julian had a stroke. The
Wow.
I mean, I don't know, at least a half a dozen times in my life, I remember being part of campaigns just to get a prison doctor to see Mumia, let alone a specialist or somebody who would actually know how to treat him. On the rare occasions that he does get like decent medical care, he's still in fucking prison.
mhm.
And so yeah, absolutely. In fact, like when Julian's father and brother were here over the summer with the event in Oakland, it was like all of the Mumia people who were there from like an hour before we started until a couple hours after we started, and everybody knows everybody because everybody works together on this, because yeah, absolutely there's a correlation. And as far as like all of the admirable ones and ones that we should be focusing on, because a lot of people forget that Mumia was a journalist, like it's the being tortured in prison, political prisoner aspect of it that we have to highlight, and that's a shame.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, one thing, especially with the Assange trial, that was highlighted in emails released by, I believe, Palantir, HB Gary, or several other organizations, really nefarious organizations. They basically said that they're going to punish him with the process. The whole justice process is going to become the torture for him. So while all this little like legal bullshit happens, he's going to continue suffering in Belmarsh prison. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's interesting. Kelly adds here, because I wanted to follow this up with what you just said. It's perfectly on time. Kelly says, unironically, the judge decided he could be extradited on International Human Rights Day.
Yep,
I
that
mean,
was the first thing I noticed, because basically after the appeal hearing ended at the end of the 28th, the judges didn't even give us a date as to when they would actually deliver the verdict. They just said, oh, we need time to come to our decision. Well, fast forward Thursday morning of the 9th, and we hear breaking, the judges will deliver a verdict in the Assange case at 10:15 a.m. on December 10th. Immediately I went, oh, this is deliberate, because in either way you push it, it's totally deliberate, because either A, say they don't allow the appeal and Assange goes free, now they can almost use that as a point to posture to the rest of the world while the US and the UK and Australia is still complete shit, regardless of the Assange trial, or it happened, or what happened yesterday happened, and they side with the US on the appeal, and essentially it's like spitting in our faces deliberately. So either way, it was great for them to just, as a move to try and just demoralize us.
yeah, I mean, it really feels like they're like, you know what? Let's just put the thumb in the eye and just pour a little salt at the same time, because, I mean, just like all of us noticed, this was not a coincidence at all. And I also, let me try to be a little careful how I say this. I also feel certain events in the media are being pushed a little bit more, and some subjects are being pulled back a little bit more, like the two topics that we're going to talk about now. One of them having to do with something that you guys can figure that part out. And we'll say Joe Rogan, to let you guys know about what we're talking about. Or what do we call it, Chris? We called it the plague and the serum. And so, they've been talking about the old version of the plague and really pushing all the worries about all of that stuff. When South Africa has been like, this thing is basically nothing. It's nothing to really worry about. And we're
All of
also seeing,
Africa, really. There was
Yeah,
a
they said
whole
all
ass
of Africa.
article. There was a whole ass article that came out saying that scientists and experts were mystified that
That
Africa was
millions of
basically
Africans
surviving.
didn't die. Yeah, I read that
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, we talked about it on
shocked.
the podcast.
mystified. Like, really?
Defied all logic.
yeah, Rage Control says, "What's up, fam? At the Political Matrix, when are y'all going to Rockfan? If Rockfan will have us, we would have been there yesterday. And if we could go to Rockfin, then you guys can really hear what we think about some of these topics and issues, and we could go into, some of these stories that we really would like to talk about even more. But we kind of have to unfortunately just kind of hand it off and
Gotta
let
put
some of
on
our
that.
brethren talk about it more than us because we don't have that, wiggle
Can I
room.
can I suggest that you have Odyssey back up your channel for free, and then B, because you have StreamYard and you have the ability to do this, kill your YouTube broadcast at a certain point and keep live streaming on Odyssey, or upload whatever you want later. But I mean, like, crypto's kind of fucky, man. It is, and you kind of need money going in to be able to like shuffle it around and sustain it. And Odyssey's the same thing. It's the same crypto ecosystem, but Odyssey's structured differently to where the crypto that you generate there helps build and grow your channel and other channels, and that's kind of what it's there for. And they just started a thing where you can get tipped in fiat. You can get cash tips on Odyssey now. So as an alternative, I would suggest that you look into that. I think you can live stream on Rumble now. I think they added that. Look into Super U. I mean, really, the whole point is diversified and, get on as many platforms as possible.
Yeah, that's what that's what the plan is, because I've just been a little bit, and put the blame on me of not, working out the Odyssey, because I have Odyssey. I haven't taken the time to kind of figure it out all the way exactly how to load up stuff and things, but I do actually have one over there. Just a matter of me figuring out the technical aspects of it. I know I might seem like I understand how all this tech stuff works, but I do not. I am virtually a caveman. So I'll leave it there. I see we got my brother and homeboy Shadow Band, friend and family of the show, out there also jumping in. So glad to see him. Make sure you tell Tina I said hi, and we all send our love. Signs is out there. Hey Sign, glad to have you in here. But I see, where else were we going to go? Oh yeah, and we're talking about Assange. So
One thing I'll add as well is one of the it came out a couple days before the verdict that one of the judges hearing the appeal case, Lord Chief Justice Ian Burnett, and yes, that's his title, as pretentious as it sounds. That's why I'm making fun of it with my name. Was friends with Sir Alan Duncan, who was one of the members of in the UK government who basically orchestrated Assange's illegal removal from the Ecuadorian embassy and called him a miserable little worm. And they were friends going back to their days at Oxford when he was called judge, and he called
do it. I'm do it.
Do it.
Yeah, no, it does. It goes back to when they were at Oxford together, and the little ministry worm called Burnett the judge.
And he called me Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister.
It's like it's so bad how corrupt it is, but nothing new.
And like, it's not like this shit isn't at least half preordained. At least over in the UK, where bloodline does determine a lot of this. Not that nepotism doesn't exist here in the States. Clearly it does. We have political dynasties and several, We have many dynasties.
Steve, you act as if you have a problem with the monarchy.
I do. And
You know what?
Are you insulting the royal family?
Yes, we are.
Insult the royal family.
Inbred Nazi fucks. Yes, I am.
Oh,
Correct.
I
Yes,
mean,
we are.
what is it? The
Without a
Habsburg
doubt.
chant. They got all kind of like scientific
Habsburgs had
biological
a whole
disorders
ass
named
blood
after these
disorder.
people because of all the fucking inbreeding.
Yes. The Habsburgs had a whole ass blood disorder because they were inbreeding so much.
Yeah, they had, what was it? Some kind of
Hemo
what was it?
something.
They had an issue with like lack of blood clotting and like jaw lines, and then it was like every like third cousin or so would die. I mean, I know I'm probably exaggerating that a little bit, but like it was a shitload of them that would just like by the age of like 7, they were just dying because all the inbreeding, just a litany of born illnesses.
Yeah.
See,
Also, where the blue blood term comes from too.
mm, please elaborate for the audience, please.
Well, it's the blood disease because of the inbreeding. It would produce. I think there was an excess of something that made the blood a very like not necessarily blue, but how blood looks can go from like red to darkish purple. It was going from the darkish purple to the bluish side of the color spectrum. And so because of that, it generated what we colloquially refer to as blue bloods, who are members of the old aristocracy.
And I'll say real quick, range control says political matrix. Okay, tweet a request to Rockfin, tagged you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I definitely appreciate it. But I'm going to be taking Steve's advice also in the meantime, in between time, and trying to figure out, more ways to kind of get our platform onto multiple different, streaming services. I feel like that'll help us out for the eventual time when that axe comes, because I know we keep the stuff that we like to talk about is eventually they're going to, push us stage right, only a matter of time. And especially as it seems like the censorship has been getting worse and worse and worse.
It is
You
getting
know,
worse.
who knows? Who
Well, that
knows
was like
what it'll be?
that was real quick speaking on that. I was telling Marcus earlier, guys. Earlier this week, LL Cool J, they put up a statue of him in Queens, right? And I saw this on Instagram. And I only bring this up because they put the statue up of him in Corona, Queens. That post was flagged by the freaking people on Instagram for COVID, not misinformation, but how they put that COVID disclaimer, click here for COVID information, etc., etc. This was all over someone saying LL Cool J got a statue put up in Corona, Queens. That got flagged. So it made no sense. It had nothing to do with the potion or the sickness, the illness, whatever we want to call it. Had nothing to do with that, but it was still flagged. So clearly the algorithm is saying like we tagging and bagging everything that has those letters in it. And so you're just really talking on these mainstream platforms owned by Google, CBS, NBC, etc. You have to be very, very careful because it doesn't take much for you guys to be gone.
The noose is tightening.
Range
I know it
control,
is.
I think we
Crazy.
all do. I agree with you. I think we all.
Aw.
And we have a new person in the room. It says, Kaladin Cat Blessed at Political Matrix. Please come on Rockfin. And like I said before, we'll try. We're going to keep trying to put ourselves out there as many outlets that will have us. So we appreciate the love and support. Comrade Carini, Hey Slow News, and Political Matrix folks, love y'all. So I'm glad to see people over here showing that love to our friends and colleagues over here. A lot of you guys who might know, who follow both of our channels for a while, Steve is one of the first people, and I tell this story every time, don't I, Steve? But Steve was one of the first people when I started getting on and doing commentary, where he was looking across at me, looking across at him. He was like, this guy might be seeing some of the stuff I'm seeing. And I was a little bit behind Steve I'm still behind Steve in a lot of areas. I learned a lot from Steve. But I believe Steve has been there to watch my development and growth, and watch the whole process. So I look at, as far as this commentator stuff, I look at Steve as almost like a bit of a mentor in a way. So
Awesome.
always glad to have Steve on here.
Cheers.
Aw.
I enjoy being here. I appreciate it.
And I will put out the show just in case. It's funny. I mean, if people want to go and watch this show, it's go for it if you want to. You remember the Hill of Roses?
Yep. I sure do.
Oh yeah,
That's a throwback.
yeah. That's
guy-
where I got my start.
Mad at me because I kept calling him Frankie because his name is like Johnny Munitz or something
Yeah.
like that. And fuck,
Yep.
I smoke a lot of weed, and I had a buddy of mine had just dropped off a bunch of dabs, and it was a little bit stronger than normal up there, and I just forgot, man. And let's be honest, that dude's not impressive. He's a forgettable human being. So it's like kind of nice that I remembered that he was named after somebody famous in the first place. Except for he wasn't really named after somebody famous, and that's the part that he was mad about, I think.
Well,
That's probably just a total dickhole to him.
for those who don't know, I mean, and I don't give a shit if he gets mad by me saying this, but he was basically kind of like one of those upper middle class guys, has a decent career and everything's never really struggled through anything, and decided, you know what, I just want to get on and talk and come up with random bullshit ideas and not think in reality. That's kind of who he was. And he would bring in all of these different people, and they would have most of the ideas, but none of the shit would ever fucking sink in. And he would never listen to anything that anybody was actually saying. He would just have us on there to, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. But here's my ideas. And so I'm very proud to see that on average he gets like 8 views. So I mean, market equity, right? I highly doubt he's being shadow banned. I'll just say that.
No, anybody doing like subpar, centrist, quasi State Department commentary is not getting censored. What they're getting is ignored because that shit sucks. Nobody wants to take in any of that. And I get that, like, we're about to go ahead into a midterm, and there will probably be people who wake up one morning and just forget that their government hates them and that politicians lie and that they're there to take your money because they're whores. But all they are whores, and they have pimps, and those pimps don't want you to know their names. They really don't. They don't want you to know their names, but they're gonna fuck you. The whores are. They're gonna take your money. That's what your vote is, your energy, your time, your resources. That's all that is. You're getting fucked by whores, and you're paying for it. And not the whores don't even get like 40%. Thank you very much. They don't. Like, these are people in positions of perceived power, and like millions of Americans are gonna wake up fucking very soon and be like, I can trust a couple of these guys. They're in it for me.
I listened to somebody the other day try to say that, you know what, the reason, like, and kind of off topic for a moment, but the type of people who listen to those types of channels and the type of people who push back against us and think we're the just way out there crazy people, that we're not seeing anything that's making us track in certain directions. This person said, Bernie, what he was most worried about, why he didn't really push in the primaries, is because he was scared of being like Ralph Nader. I mean, what are your thoughts on that comment alone?
What?
Bernie was scared of being like Ralph Nader and getting the treatment of Ralph Nader.
Yeah, no. Bernie Sanders very, very concerned about his legacy. Does not have vocalized many times that he did not want to be remembered as the Ralph Nader that gave people Donald Trump or In 1992, in order to join the club of Congress, Bernie Sanders struck a deal with the DNC. That deal was he would always back the Democrats' play, even if he needed to be like outwardly against them just to be that lone crank, in order for his loyalty for the entirety of his career, which he has delivered on handsomely.
Consistently.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All he had to do, he does that, and he gets to run as an independent in the general Vermont election. When he's up for a Senate seat, the Democrats will never primary him. He runs as a Democrat in the primary election, and then when it's the general Senate election, he gets to run as an independent and enter the Senate as an independent to maintain that, because his whole congressional career, the exact same thing. Run as an independent from Vermont, get elected to that seat in Congress. You can be the outsider. You can go on Tom Hartman for 20 years and like sell people hope porn.
Well, I mean, it works because he sold me on it for a long time. I will not lie. I won't act like, oh, I was always on to Bernie. I wasn't. I was not. But at least I woke the hell up and came around the fact of this guy didn't just duck out all of a sudden because he was scared right now. He is playing the role that he was supposed to play. Sheep herder, right, Steve?
His hip hop name is Sheep Doggy Dog. It is. This is hip hop name.
I was wondering, back onto Assange for a moment. What do you think is the probability that they are going to actually extradite him? And if so, when do you think that would happen?
They're gonna. Well, Judge, based on the current trajectory, it seems like whatever the upcoming decision is, it's going to be dragged out and it's going to take a while because right now they're just going to try to pull it into like another lull in the case. So I think regardless of what happens, it's going to take another while before any major developments, unless if something huge happens. But it's like I'm honestly at this point I'm 50-50 on whether they're going to extradite him or whether they're just going to keep him in London indefinitely, because either way they're able to torture him and they're able to punish him. One of the main points made as part of the appeal and why it was granted was because extradition was essentially denied based off the fact that the U.S. prison system would lead him to kill himself, and the specific conditions they cited were special administrative measures and the facilities in ADX Florence, which is in Colorado. Now, during the appeal, what they essentially did was they gave these diplomatic assurances, which on top of the fact that the assurances are lies, the assurances were also predicated on the fact that Julian Assange wouldn't be put in ADX Florence or under special administrative measures. Now, we know how the U.S. prison systems work. We know that you don't have to be put in special administrative measures or an ADX Florence facility to be tortured in the system. So either way it goes, they're going to be torturing Julian and they're going to try to kill him. That's kind of my grim take on it.
Yeah, I don't think the U.S. wants him here at all. I don't think the UK wants him in Belmarsh. I don't think Australia wants him in their country. I think they're all just like fingers crossed that prison gets him. Not that they couldn't accelerate that if they didn't want to. It looks like that may kind of already happened to some degree. So here's the thing. It would almost be advantageous, and I say almost because I do want to be a little careful, if hypothetically, as a thought experiment, we talked to everyone we knew in the UK and Europe at large to occupy the front of Belmarsh prison and force Home Secretary Priti Patel to make a decision about this, because if there's movement, there's action. What we have is inertia. What we have is putting Assange on ice, out of sight and out of mind. And everybody needs a free Julian Assange, because no matter what it is you give a fuck about, it depends on a free press. And if you don't give a fuck about anything that needs a free press to survive, you need to check your fucking priorities. You really do.
I completely agree. Here's a question. I'm gonna give this to you two. What do you guys think of the stroke?
I think we're on YouTube, and I cannot say what I think of the stroke.
That's good enough answer for me.
I think, regardless of which way you put it, I mean, it's another demonstration of the fact that they're killing him, quite literally. I mean, like, because either, which on the explanation we can't say on YouTube, it's still intertwined with the fact that they're killing him. I mean, it's just a grim reality we face. Yeah.
I agree with what both of you said and what Signs or what Steve was alluding to, what you said and what Signs put up. I honestly believe that they're literally just saying, you know what? It's kind of like one of those things. I'll say this. It's kind of like when you foment the conditions for something to happen so it can happen, and you say, oh my God, we can't believe this happened.
Exactly. And I mean, that's kind of, in a very sadistic sense, that's like the quote unquote benefit to the people who are trying to kill him, of keeping him in Belmarsh, of punishing him with the process, is because if they were to just outright assassinate him, they don't want the hell that follows. Rather, they just drag it out and they pull everyone into a lull, and then let him get sick, let him do whatever, so that way they can just say, oh no, well, the process was just going on, he just died of the virus, he had a heart attack, he had this, oh no. And it happens mid-process. So instead of
Yeah, I'll let people just read that comment. Take it in.
And real quick too, I wanted to make a point for the people who follow politics, right? Notice how in America anyway, not even England, just here in America, do you notice, I mean, you guys notice, but for the true believers in the political system, the Democrats aren't using this to go after Republicans. The Republicans aren't using this to go after the Democrats, right? No matter what the issue is, typically people will take a side. One will attack the other over it, right? You're either for this or you're against this, and I'm attacking you for that. In this particular instance, no one is saying anything. So I just hope that people would use Assange's case to look at the entire political system and see that this is one group. It's not these are not two parties. These are not separate systems. It's all the same. You even to score points, to even go against Biden's support of this, the Biden administration, you don't see any prominent Republican with a big mouth on any network that they appear on saying, well, I think Assange should be free, or, Biden's overstepping. Even the conservatives and the we hate big government crowd, even they're quiet about this shit. So don't get gassed on thinking that you can support one or the other and you're going to get a different outcome.
Well, I mean, it shows how how all these parties, no matter how different they pretend to act and how much they pretend to fight, when it comes to matters of, war and protecting corporate interests and protecting the oligarchy, they move as one unit at the end of the day.
Yeah, well said. I mean, I see some of the comments in the chat. I won't read them out, but E, what's some of your thoughts on all of this?
I mean, I'm more or less unsurprised at this point. I mean, that comes from the work on here. If the parties are in lockstep about something, it's probably something you need to worry about. If they're silent together or they're yelling at the same volume, it's definitely something you got to start worrying about. I'm like, don't worry about Hillary, with the little master class on spite, because that's what that shit is. You should probably be more worried about what's going on with Julian. You should probably be more worried about what's going on with Maxwell and the censorship. That's what you should be worried about. Don't worry about all that little petty shit that they're just trying to throw in your face to get riled up to get people riled up for midterms or whatever. They're all one party. They're all one party and they're all moving in the same direction. And that's the fuck.
I mean, that's very well said, because that's one thing that I've started to focus on more. Not necessarily what stories they're talking about, but what stories are they not talking about? What stories are given way more oxygen than they needed to? It's like now it's one time period that I feel like I need to go back in history and look at what the hell was going on during this time period. This might seem random for most people, but I don't know if you guys remember the Anna Nicole Smith when she passed away. Literally, she was on every mainstream news station nonstop. I mean, I can't remember any celebrity who was on TV so fucking much. And for her not to be a big time celebrity, I mean, well, she was a B-rated, soft porn playgirl, whatever, all that kind of stuff.
America loves titties, kid.
Yeah, but there's plenty of people like that who passed away just because she married some very rich guy. I mean, I don't think people really remember how much they covered her death. They covered the fuck out of her death. I mean, this stuff was nonstop, week after week after week, like it was some kind of saga that was happening. I mean,
Princess Di level stuff.
I want to say that they covered it about as much as the damn Simpson trial while it was going live. That's how much it felt. Well, I could be exaggerating. I might be wrong. Might not be, but that's what it felt like.
Put on headphones. I don't know who you're talking about. Can I take a guess?
Sure.
Anna Nicole Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I'm like, I need to go back and look at what the hell else was going on during that time period, because something had to be going on for them to be talking about her so fucking much.
Waco, Oklahoma City. I don't know. I can't remember what year was that. Well, 94, 95, Unabomber.
Something.
Wait, it had to be early 21st century when she became a reality star. And she got real fat, and then she got real.
Okay, well, we
got real fat, and then she turned into a reality star, and then she got real skinny.
Yeah, she died in 07.
There we go. Range Control says Anna Nicole Smith. American Model Image result for Anna Nicole Smith.
That was like 21st century when she
death
died.
Date February 8th, 2007. And you had Iraq and Afghanistan. Right. That might have been around the time of surge or something like that.
That's the housing crisis, too.
Yes, sir. Thank you. That's where I was headed.
The recession, right? The Great Recession was about to hit, right?
That's when you first saw it here in California. That's when you first saw it out on
That's right. A housing crisis. That's it. Yeah, you're right.
See, I wouldn't have made the connection because 2007, where was I at? I think I was in Florida in 2007. And so, granted, though the housing crash hit everywhere, I feel in the Southeast, it was far worse than it was in a lot of other areas. So it's easy to not think about that.
It was.
America in a nutshell. Sleazy blonde with a huge rack marries a decrepit billionaire and then dies, and everyone is fascinated. Great comment,
Yeah,
Kelly.
that's it.
Aw.
So speaking of, we'll take that real quick. So we'll take that comment, and I really wanted to ask Elle, like, about her personal picture that she posted. We haven't seen Elle on camera, but she posted a picture of herself. And is that your dad or your
Oh
uncle?
my god.
Oh.
No, we're pretty close in age.
Mm.
Amazingly, like I just have really good skin. Thanks.
Very good. So, I mean, that, honestly, like, that takes us into, the Ghislaine shit off of Assange, unfortunately, just bad news everywhere.
Well, I
So,
mean,
Elle,
there's
I
a
know you were
natural
like,
segue between British royals and child sex trafficking rings. So,
Well, yeah, as natural as peanut butter and jelly.
yeah.
A
They go
combination.
together
Correct.
pretty well.
So, Elle, let me ask you, right? Was anything that came out over this week, over the course of this particular trial, is there anything new that that the people who follow this, is there anything new for them?
Well,
Okay.
I'll say before we get to anything new, let's build up to all the stuff that's going on, because I know a lot of our audience may be familiar, but we might be having some people who are new to all of this stuff that's going on. So I feel like we should kind of like take a little way back machine and kind of explain like some of this stuff out, because like I was telling Chris on the phone, what was it, last week we were talking about this, and I said I've followed some of this. I followed a lot of the stuff which Steve has talked about, having Whitney Webb on. Um, and I've listened to a whole bunch of other different people talk about this. But I still keep finding out shit that I did not even know about. And so I feel like that's partially why I was like, I would definitely love to be able to have Steve on to kind of break down some of this stuff, because he's talked to a lot of journalists who know a lot about this subject. And so let's take it back a little, because I guarantee you there's a lot we need to know about the context of what led up to all this stuff. So maybe some of this stuff that starts coming out new will make more sense to why it's happening.
It started with Israel's super spy, Robert Maxwell.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing. Like you need
And
to
mobster Les Wexner.
Well, and mobster Meyer Lance.
Also,
I'm gonna go back to it, and like Samuel
Nebraska
Brown and
Correct,
well,
Elle.
Franklin scandal or something. But what's ultimately really important to remember is that Jeffrey Epstein, in all likelihood, was just the face and the bag man, and that Ghislaine Maxwell, who's currently on trial, the handler for the American side of this particular branch of a global child sex trafficking for blackmail and power exchange and influence network in this era. Now, everything that Ghislaine Maxwell is currently on trial for, which is not much and limited in scope between 98 and 2004, I believe. All of that information, everything has come out in the trial, except for a few pictures, which are really meant to distract you, publicly available in Vanity Fair for almost 20 years. Well, all of it, all of the testimony, all of it is public information. This is show. This is theater.
Yes,
this
it's
is
a show.
The prosecution throwing a case on purpose. The shit that people were screaming about in the Rittenhouse case, that the prosecution was throwing it. No. This is a textbook.
Oh yeah.
Of
It's
the
embarrassing.
not doing a goddamn thing. Ellie, you seem like you're chomping, dude. Hop in here. What,
dude? Like I've been catching like updates from Classfeld on Twitter and Inner City Press. Shout out to those guys. And they do like a play-by-play. Inner City Press does a little more of the depth of what's being said, but it's obvious. Like they ask one question, and then they're like, "Okay, no further questions." And I was like, "Wait, you're getting somewhere there," but they don't care. They don't want to, because guess who it is? Maureen Comey, who is James Comey's fucking daughter. That's the fucking AUSA.
Maureen Comey, by the way, also handled Epstein's case. Maureen Comey has been in charge of a number of high-profile cases that have gone absolutely nowhere. Maureen Comey was one of the lead investigators in the original complaint against the Awan brothers.
That's just a coincidence. Strange.
This is shit. I try not to get too worked up over it, but this is shit that does make me salty towards people when you try to tell them like people are connected. They put their families and friends in certain places. So whenever they come to you like, oh, it's just a conspiracy, you're just like, I mean, honestly, it really just make me want to give them a backhand sometimes, because it's like, are you that dumb? Like, are you dumb?
Terrence McKenna has said my favorite thing about this. He said, coincidence is what you get when you apply bad theory.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also to Kelly M's point, have we seen an actual photo of her in court? No.
You're not going to.
Yeah, we're not going to. We're gonna get these fucking like weird ass, creepy ass sketches where like the sketch artist is drawing a picture of her, drawing a picture of him, looking straight at him, and it's creepy as fuck.
Weird.
I got a picture of that.
That's a sign, dude. That's a sign. That's her laugh. This is everybody in the room knows that this is the daughter of Israeli super spy Robert Maxwell, who has multiple citizenships, multiple passports. We all know she has body doubles. Everybody on the jury knows she has body doubles. Everybody knows she's spooked up, and she is in there laughing and hugging her lawyers at the end of the day. She is staring through the sketch artist, sketching her. Her lawyer is outing anonymous victims' names.
Yeah, that was the one. That was the part that got me. That's the one where I was like, that was the one where I was like, I'm looking at this, because that right there was like, oh no.
Her other lawyer represented Tartaglione, the guy who was Epstein's cellmate when he didn't kill himself.
Her lawyers are trying to paint her,
who had killed multiple people, including death by strangulation.
Yeah.
That guy.
Her lawyers were trying to paint her like as a victim in their opening statements, saying, "Oh, you're just punishing her because you couldn't punish Epstein."
She'll be tried guilty. There's still people that believe that, and I'm just
that's creepy as fuck, bro.
These people. The point and laugh.
Creepy.
She's so
and
weird.
It's so convenient that everyone had to wear masks. You know what I'm saying? Like the convenience of it all.
But she did remove her mask, according to someone in the courtroom, so they were able to see her face.
Yeah, Kelly probably
eat at some point or drink.
Probably.
Or they're in that place between, like, what is it, Austria and Germany? What's that town called where they're super wealthy over there? There's some town over there between those two countries where the elite really like hang out at.
It's its own country, but
I'm partially leaning more towards what Kelly's talking about, but could be there too.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt that. There's been people who've seen her. They wouldn't lie.
Yeah, Tel Aviv is too that's too high profile, and, you know, you may have a dirty Palestinian in Tel Aviv.
Oh,
of course, I'm being super sarcastic.
Epstein didn't die in that cell, but he did die.
At all, but yeah.
Do you think he do? All right, now, hold on.
Now we're getting into it.
Wait, now we need to ask. Okay.
Yeah. I'm with you. So, Steve, do you think he's dead?
Now, yeah, I do. Look, he fucked up too many times. Okay, when Alex Acosta got his case down in Florida, he was told that he belonged to intelligence. That's when he got his sweetheart deal. Well, part of what helped negotiate his sweetheart deal was him ratting out some of the players behind Lehman Brothers and Fannie Mac and or Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae and the whole fucking financial scandal. Now, I do think that him getting caught for, all but trafficking children, not once but twice, that's too many times. I don't think he died in the cell. I think he got removed from the cell, and then I think he got duct taped to a chair until they figured out where all of his compromising material was, where all of his safe houses were, where all of his bug out bags and different identities, all of that shit. And then they took care of their problem. But I'm gonna hop off for a second. I'm gonna switch over to audio only, and then I'll be back on in a couple of minutes.
All right, roger that. I mean, I completely agree with a lot of what was just said, and I feel like we would be remiss if we just jumped right into it without talking about all of this stuff. I mean, there's so much more to get into, but Chris, and Glory, just keep going. I'm gonna sit back.
Yeah, while you're scrolling through that, I'm gonna go and find the screenshot of the actual court documents that has like all the other defendants in it that appear alongside Ghislaine Maxwell. And yeah, I'm gonna try to find that here.
Do you mean the Latham one? Because we went over that.
Was it the one that named like 500 corporate John Does?
Yes. We went over that on the podcast, actually. And
the list that had like, what was it, like Young Money Records, Beyonce.
Yeah. That was totally thrown out of court too, dismissed.
Yeah.
Then it's on Court Listener.
Oh,
I'll give you that.
I want to get into that connection right there.
It's funny that her name was like Latham. I was like, what? Wait, what? Are we related? What the fuck?
But yeah, I was gonna bring up that one, but yeah, it's an
I got you, girl.
One. All the celebrities in there. There's a lot of juice in that one.
Yeah, if you guys want to hear the whole thing about that, Marcus was on the last episode of the Super Rocker Funcast. And it's this episode was not brought to you by Pfizer, which is true. And check it out. And I guess Chris can link to that. Well, the website, anyways.
Yeah, if you have it, you can just drop it in the chat. Because people, even if they're catching on the oh, that was quick. But yes, definitely need to look at that because. And there's some other names which I don't remember all these names nearly as well as my colleagues here. That's the reason why on the topics where I feel like I know a lot about, you guys will hear me talk a lot. On this one, it's still, this web is so wide on so much stuff.
I mean, just to bring up some of the names on that list, let's see, Harvey Weinstein, of course, Walt Disney, Def Jam Recordings, Beyonce G. Knowles, Kanye West, Black Cube, big one, Jean-Luc Brunel, Young Money Entertainment, Robert Kelly,
Virgil Abloh, who's dead now.
Viacom and Sprint Corporation were there. Qatar Investment Authority, and then Ghislaine Maxwell, as well as New York Police Department and Sony Entertainment. And then that's just a bit of it.
And then
Jean-Luc Brunel, get his ass, bro. Like
and
yes, Chris, my name's not on that list.
Griffin Dunn. That's an actor.
Yeah, I can guarantee you won't find my name on that list.
Yeah, me neither.
Or this book.
These poor masseuses, though, that keep coming up. Oh, there's a weird part. Oh, I don't know where it is. Probably towards the end, but they have like like
The
cleaners,
Prince of Yugoslavia.
and I'm like, what the fuck is that for? Like a cleaners? Let me go find it. Hold on.
Dimitri
Yeah, just tell me
Yugoslavia.
every name
me
you guys
find
have
it.
dropped. I'm like doing the find in the document. I'm trying to keep up.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
No, Jay. This is from that case. The Latham case, right?
Yeah. Charlene.
That's what I was reading from. What Elle is reading from is Epstein's Black Book. Or well, what's on the screen now is Epstein's Black Book.
God, without giving up too much information, these look like the people I work for every day. All these fucking names, bro. Like I'm trying not to lose my gig, Marcus, but
Notice
I tell
that
you,
John
like, these are the last names I got all in my inbox.
Oh yeah, John Cleese.
This shit drives me nuts.
Oh, I
David
know.
Rockefeller. David Rockefeller is on 78 out of 95. That's just a coincidence.
I'm sure.
Yeah, Jalen. Link to Young Money and Kanye, Jay-Z. Yeah. I do not believe all of a sudden that these people jump to. One's middle class. One is just not even a big time drug dealer, an average drug dealer, and somehow now they have more money than people like Mark Cuban.
Mm-hmm.
Make this make sense,
bro? Like he wasn't even the freaking Medellin level.
Yeah. I mean, people were thinking like, oh, well, maybe Jay-Z just had a whole lot from his street days. No.
No. There's a difference between being like a street dealer and being like a high-ranking member of the Medellin cartel.
Yeah. Jalen, Uma, she's not spamming. She is actually commenting. It's just because her natural language is I forgot which language that is, but because that's her natural language and it's easier for her to just type it out and get it up quickly, she just types it in her first language. That's all.
Yeah.
But she's definitely a friend of the show.
Yes.
Oh, Sarah Kellen is on page 60 because she's been mentioned a couple of times in the trial. They were trying to shove her in there as a suspect.
But let's keep in mind part of the reason why I think it's important that we name the names, and shout out to Elle for giving us that that link. This is why we don't see it anywhere. This is why it's not discussed, because a lot of those names, remember, they sit on boards. They may not be CEOs and presidents of companies that you see, all the time, but they do sit on the boards. They are these people's accountants. They are their attorneys. They are, they run other businesses that these people are linked to. So it's a...
Chris, I had a question. When you
go ahead, E. No, go ahead, E.
Yeah. Okay. Do you see any correlation between what's going on with the Maxwell case, or what's going on with Maxwell and the supposed CEOs stepping, various CEOs stepping down? Do you see any connection, or is that just a coincidence? Or I meant to ask you that.
I mean,
I think it's I think there's like what they call it, a Venn diagram. I think there's a link to some of it. Some of them are just like, you know what, I'm out of here. I don't want to do this anymore. We're going into the future. I only know how to work in the 19th, 20th century. The 21st century is scary for me, and I'm out of here, right? Jay-Z is a contract propaganda Beyonce. Oh yeah, exactly.
Facts.
But yeah, E, like, so to the extent that there's people running, there are some people who are running because they are connected, even if only through, like, they were seen at a party with somebody. They're not really down with that, but some people don't want to deal with it. And plus, maybe there's something else coming down the road that they know, and they're like, you know what? I don't want to be the person who has to talk to the media every day in 2022, 2023, and so on and so
Now, see, my
forth.
crazy ass thought it was a recession at first, but now.
So let me ask you a question. How many people have been in a fucking shitty ass apartment where you walk into the bathroom or the kitchen in the middle of the night, you flip the light on, and a bunch of cockroaches scuttle away, right? And the ones that get caught out get stomped, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's
Yep.
exactly what's happening right now. It's not rats fleeing a sinking ship. It's fucking cockroaches breaking for cover because they don't want to be the ones that get caught out in the light at the end of the day. And there's a lot of people who are going to go on to think tanks or like the Federal Reserve Board or something like it, but they're going to fade way out.
Yeah. Glory, love to hear you answer that. No, put it back up. Glory, want to hear you answer that because this is. I'll let Glory answer.
No. Finish your thought.
I was going to say, yes, a lot of these things are very connected. And if you look a little bit deeper to some of these names, we might have been talking about it on different show, other show topics where we were going through lists of corporations and conglomerates and how you might hear all of these different names and don't realize that they're all owned by certain people. This is one of those instances where it's, what do they call it? 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's just something like that.
I mean, that's not what I called it, but yeah, 100% agreed. It's, yeah, not only a cheeky inside joke, but it definitely goes to show, you know, how I don't even want, think if it would be called a deep state, just like a whole shadow conglomerate of people collaborating behind the scenes that we don't even realize.
Well, I mean, I call them by their old-fashioned name because I know some of the people who are involved still hold to this because of the significance of what it means. I know some of those people are going to mock me as soon as I say this. There's some of those people who I don't consider those people serious anyway if you are mocking this at this point. But
The Illuminati?
literally, Illuminati.
Okay.
And what Illuminati means is the light bearer. Light bearer, which a lot of people don't understand, you transfer into Greek what light bearer means. Light bearer means Lucifer. What that actually means, it's not some kind of spiritual demon who's doing all this weird stuff. That's not what Lucifer or light bearer actually means. It means the one who's at the top. That's what it actually means. So even when it's written in the Bible, it's just talking about the person at the top. These people are at the top, and that's what they consider themselves. The light of the world, the beacon at the top of the hill. So I still look at them as that. You can call them the cabal.
I thought they were the enlightened ones.
All of it's the same thing. Enlightened, light. It's all about light. I mean, and light is being at the top.
Behavioral evolution. They're in the next stage of humanity. It's the cognitive revolution, and they're on top of it. However you want to, whatever pretentious format you want to use.
Good one, Jack. Bacon is not kosher.
Could I say some more names in the Black Book real quick?
No, yeah, keep going. Keep going.
Peter Soros.
I got one.
You know what?
I got one.
Put it back up while she's bringing them up.
Page 16, the Duke and Duchess of York.
There you go.
Yeah. Just
von Furstenberg, you know. We already saw her name.
Damn.
Joan Rivers is in there. And Melissa.
Chris Evans.
Which other Chris is in there? I bet there's a bunch of Chris.
There's probably a bunch of Chris's in there.
Here, let me interject for one moment, and I'll give it right back to you, Elle. I want to answer this question. Sign says, isn't it so much easier for them to dismay and dismantle our groups on the internet as opposed to the CIA, FBI having infiltrate them from outside? The internet is the matrix. True. But you got to remember, when you're dealing with somebody who is so arrogant at the top, and they literally have not been stopped on anything they've ever done before, do you think that they're worried about a YouTube stream that might get 200 views? They don't care.
No.
They're like, they can't hurt us. And then also, when you have most of the people who we would try to talk to about this stuff and try to wake them up, they're going to all just call us conspiracy theorists. So they don't, for them, it doesn't matter nearly as much. But go ahead, Elle.
Oh, what was I doing?
Oh, you were reading names out of the black book.
Oh yeah, Henry Kissinger's in there.
Because why not? Because of course.
Ivanka
Of
Trump.
course.
Right?
You can't leave Hank out of here.
Maria Shriver.
Oh,
I've not heard her
Ehud
name in a while.
Barak, of course.
A couple of
Some dude named
Forbes.
James Smith.
Couple of Forbes people were in
Aegis
there.
Trust. A lot of bank stuff. Banker people. That's just a coincidence. He just knew a lot of financial people.
Oh, fuck bankers, bro. I'm sorry.
Chris Tucker, of course.
oh.
Oh,
that
when
makes me
people found
wonder-
Look,
out
you
on
know
Twitter,
what? Look.
when they found
We
out.
just gonna leave Smokey alone, okay? We gotta leave Smokey alone, man.
He's like Chris.
Gave us so
He's
many
like Chris
quotables.
says, hands off.
Hands off Smokey. He gave me so many quotables for life. Like,
He was
I don't know what
fucking
you doing on that
trapped.
plane,
You know
Smokey. I hope he was doing that
Oh
bad.
wow, no.
But you know,
No one said that he
Yes.
did anything or that Bill Clinton did
No, I
anything
know.
on their flight. So I guess that's good that they're clear.
Oh, Courtney Love is
But
in
it
here?
also makes me wonder.
Oh yes, she is circled because she was, according to her father, a participant in the sex trafficking. According to her own father, she participated and possibly, according to him, I'm just quoting the dude, killed some kids for Epstein and Ghislaine.
That's fucking lovely.
That's
But
her
Chris-
father saying
Chris,
that.
you got to remember, all of a sudden now Chris Tucker's coming up on tax evasion charges.
What?
yeah,
so
I saw that, and I was like, "Dang,
We should
y'all
all
came
be
for my
evading
man Wesley,
taxes.
and now I said y'all came for Wesley, and now y'all coming for Chris." Like, you know,
That's
they
the
just got to
best
make sure
crime,
they
though.
keep everyone in line. Right, Thomas? I'm with Thomas in the comments. Nobody dogging my homeboy Smokey. Exactly. You ain't put
I'm
any
not.
of this,
He
man.
was innocent.
Like, no, leave Smokey alone.
He
you got
don't
to
have
remember,
anything.
he was on the heights up there with people like Michael Jackson and stuff. He's seen and he knows a lot. Just saying.
I don't think he saw it then.
Michael
because
Jackson
what?
is innocent.
There would have been more information.
Maybe of his sleepovers, but it's some other stuff that he might not have been innocent of.
Ugh.
Look, did you guys?
No, I'm talking
I
about.
saw this.
I was talking about Chris, but yeah, okay.
Oh, look, let me ask you guys. I saw this today, like not too long before we came on. The CNN producer was brought up on charges by the
yes.
feds.
John Griffin.
Did you see that, Al?
Shout out to him.
Yes. So I'll put up, Al, if you can find the article, I'll put it up.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
I got you on that
I saw it on Twitter. So if you post it in the private chat, I'll put it up. But anyway, I'll just give the crowd a little, info.
I wonder
So,
if CNN did
CNN
an article about it.
Yeah, so a CNN producer was like busted for like
They
finding
did.
women
Oh my
online.
gosh, yes.
He was busted for finding women online who
That's
were willing
hilarious.
to bring their children to him for certain activities that children and adults shouldn't be engaging in. And of course, now he's been brought up on charges. And I was reading through the complaint. Yo, it's fucking disgusting. Like, and this is why shit like this will not make it. because you'll have producers and people who are very much into that same kind of fucking lifestyle. And to tie it into the shit that Marcus like to talk about, these are all people who like the Talmud and they follow that shit and they believe the tenets of it. And we see what that belief system leads you to. Because I don't think anyone here would think like a 9-year-old, male or female in Gloria and Elle's case, like, there's nothing attractive about a 9-year-old girl. You know what I'm saying? Or a 9-year-old boy for Elle and Glory. There's nothing about that that makes you think anything other than, oh, it's a kid. For the people who look at that age group and think anything other than that, there's something wrong with them.
You're going too old with the age. It's actually I think they said it's 4, but
They
and
said 9, 14.
no, it's younger. I
No,
did
for this
video.
guy.
Oh, I will say I did a video on the Talmud. So, but here's a very
This
important.
guy.
Here's a very
I was talking
important
about this
name,
guy.
which for those if you don't follow a lot into the narcos and stuff like that, drug trafficking. Victor Ariano.
Mm.
That name right there is a huge name that stands out for me. That's part of the Felix Ariano drug cartel, allegedly. So I mean,
Well,
it's a.
Zuckerman.
Yeah, I mean, one of these days I'll go through some of these names and really, I probably need to really look at this. Glory, here's a comment for you.
Thinking of Tucker Baldwin, when we look at expired performers, are they going to be probably? I mean, all names you drop there are shit actors regardless, but yeah, probably. I mean, if you think about it, Trump already kind of became a Reagan since he already served his term as president. So I don't know.
Wait, do you think Melina's gonna be another Nancy? Like decades later, or?
I don't know.
No, because she's way too young. If she'd be more like anybody, this would be more back to let's see, who would I do a comparison to? It's kind of hard because I can't think of very many presidents that had the age gap. So most of them
Look how
look
it
like
says Connecticut man instead of CNN producer. I'm sorry.
Correct. Connecticut
that's
man
hilarious.
instead of former employee.
Oh yeah, he's former because you fired him once you found out.
I mean, it's the only sentence in the second paragraph. So it's not like they buried it totally.
I know. Why even bother? Connecticut man. He's just a
But the
man
worst
now.
part
Like
of
a superhero.
however, the worst part of the story is the mother brought her daughter to him.
Yep.
That was the worst part of the story. Like, okay, fine, you got these pedophiles, you got these weird people, they're gonna do crazy shit. You're supposed to be the buffer between people like that and your child. And for $3,000, you brought your kid from the west coast of the country to the east coast so that
Disgusting.
this fucking
they should be in jail.
You see I'm stuttering and shit like that, and I don't stutter. I'm just trying not to get us like struck, you know, but I don't have any patience for that. Like, if I'm the type to be around that ever catch, I'm not one of those people who says, oh, I would do this. No, I'm going to do it. There's not a question. You know, I'm a father. I have, you know, children. I don't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? I just think about my own. If somebody even ever tried, I would become the most violent person. And to think that you did this for $3,000, like, yo, people are shit. That's why I'm always saying, like, yo, you can't save everybody. You have to really just think about yourself sometimes, because there's a lot of people who are not worth saving. I don't mean to be negative and shit, but it's just a fact.
Yeah, I saw this comment from Brian, Duster Brian, and hey, by the way, Duster, can you guys answer this for me? Do you know anything about this? I'm not certain, but it says talking about Cuomo cameraman getting caught raping a kid charge.
I think they're talking about this producer guy, but like, it wasn't necessarily rape charges. It was luring children into sexual activity, which is pretty rapey to me, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean technically,
Going
because I
back,
doubt the
going
kid was
back
like,
to
"Yeah, I'm on board."
No consent.
And then going back to Assange, look at this. If convicted, Griffin faces anywhere from 10 years to prison in life.
Again, they get
Like
all the
Assange,
fucking time in the world outside of prison. It's disgusting
correct.
how
Look,
that
and
dude got
Assange can
45
get out of
years,
jail.
months or
Like this shit
whatever.
is crazy.
And Epstein got 13 months, and he got less time than that dude from the shaman, the Q shaman guy. It's ridiculous.
My only thing that I guess that I will add to it is if and I don't want to sound messed up when I say this, but we got to keep in mind, like George Carlin said, it's a great big club and we're not in it, and to be surprised that they're not getting jail time or not getting this or this isn't happening, we can't be surprised. We need to
I'm not
understand that
surprised.
this is the
I'm
modus
outraged.
operandi. This is how this system works.
Nobody's surprised here.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody.
Oh, good question. Science says, since Epstein was the old king, I'm guessing as the American attaché, King of America is the must at Northwestern Kingdom doing this blackmail biz and is
You know,
dead.
we talk
Who
about
is the new king now?
Mossad. The Mossad. I guess we'll say it in code.
Yeah.
The Mossad.
The must
Well,
odd.
here's
The
the
must
thing. I mean,
odd.
there's right now.
That's right. The most odd. That's good.
That's what I
Right
was just
Most
thinking.
now,
odd.
there's a lot of the people who were involved with Epstein's like transhumanist gig and the small world venture. They all have a gig going on now called the University of Austin. That's former Harvard president and Clinton Treasury Secretary Larry Summers. That's Steven Pinker. That's Barry Weiss. That's the Weinstein brothers, and not Eric, the other one, Brent Weinstein, being Peter Thiel's money guy. Elon Musk is a part of this thing, and it's I can't say that's where the face of the child trafficking is coming from or where the bagman is, but I'm saying that like all of the end result of what Epstein wanted out of the future is hanging out right there. Les Wexner is still free, and that's who Maria Farmer said was the head of the snake.
Bagman.
Shout out to Maria Farmer. She's amazing. She's always going after them and showing all these pictures of the group and all of their ties.
Yeah, Lex might be the head of the snake, but somebody is feeding the snake also. We'll be careful not to really go on to do too much detail on that, but just keep that in mind. Somebody is feeding the snake, and so if you chop off the head of the snake, it's just like Hydra. Another one is going to pop right back up. And I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll go ahead and mention it because I believe that these people drop their hints sometimes in TV shows and movies. I don't know who's all seen. What is the movie called? Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. I knew you were going to say that.
You know which part I'm talking about, don't you,
Oh, yeah.
Lord?
Hail Hydra.
Barry,
The
when we
Hell
just
Hydra
talking
part.
about this with Trey?
Yep.
Yes, there's a part in that movie, for those who do not know what we are talking about, go to the part where Captain America and Black Widow are watching the screen. And the old, I guess, what did he say? Well, he said, well, I'm not Dutch. He said, I'm not German. He's something else. So he's explaining how all of this stuff works. Now, the only thing they do is they code it as Hydra instead of saying who they really are. But this is how this system has been working and going on.
Yep. And Marcus was in that movie too.
Actually, yeah, because some people do say in certain pictures, I kind of look a little. Actually, you know what? That's what I'll do. For this time, I'll pull off my hat and my glasses and let you guys look for yourselves. They say there's a little bit of
With the
similarity
beard.
to
Okay, someone's got
With
to
the
pull up a
beard.
picture. Hold
We
on.
got
With
the
the beard.
Falcon. We got a celebrity
the
on the
beard.
show, the Falcon.
The beard.
see, you're gonna start that, and then somebody's gonna be like, "Really, Anthony Mackie is like really? He came up with a fake name, and now he's like doing conspiracy theory videos online."
I mean, that'd be a great way to get more people.
I mean, hey, well, I put it out. I tagged him. I was like, "Yo, you need a stunt double, body double, hook a brother up." I mean, I know you got some deep pockets now that you're the new. Oh well, I don't want to. I get fuck it, spoil it. I don't advise you to go watch a lot of that Disney crap anyway. But since he's the new Captain America, I'm pretty sure that he got some heavier pockets now. So hey, hook a brother up. You need a body double.
I think I found the scene, but I don't know.
Oh, do you
Yeah,
have the
I'm
same?
I'm pulling it up now, Al. The only thing I'm just
Are you
worried is
pulling it?
that
Yes,
this
yes.
this is hold on though. Keep in mind this Disney we
Yeah,
poking
this
at.
Disney
We
though.
poke at Disney like it's a
Just
wrap.
don't let it be seen. I mean, be heard.
I know, right? I'm about to
It,
pull it up right now.
I mean, as
it's
long as
weird
it's
right
You
now.
bear resemblance,
Subtitles.
Marcus.
Sort
You do bear resemblance to Anthony Mackie, though. You do. I don't just say that. Like you do. You could pass for Anthony Mackie after a drink or two.
I don't think so.
I see it, I'm not gonna lie.
I think,
Thank you, Glory.
in all honesty, I'm much bigger than Anthony Mackie, though.
You're very tall.
Yeah.
I'm not that tall.
Taller
I
than
got a
I am.
little height, but I'm not super tall. Because that's right, I forgot. Only Steve, believe it or not, only Steve, Glory, and Elle have seen me in person.
He is
Yeah.
real.
That's right.
Yes.
We are real. I would have to be
Yo,
real
E.
too, so I'm real
Yeah.
as well.
Emmanuel,
Yeah.
yo, E, you don't think Marcus could pass as like a Anthony Mackie stunt double? You don't
Yes,
think we
he
could
is.
shoot
He's
some bootleg movies?
he's a bearded Falcon. I mean, a bearded Captain America. He's a bearded Captain America.
Except I'm probably about 50 pounds heavier than him. Most people don't know. I'm roughly about, what am I, 6 foot, about two, well, depending, I packed on a little bit of weight right now, but about 6 foot 230.
Stephen, born 1918. Romanov, Natalia Alyanovna, born 1984.
Some kind of recording.
I am not a recording, Fräulein. I may not be the man I was when the captain took me prisoner in 1945, but I am.
You know this name?
Arnim Zola was a German scientist who worked for the Red Skull. He's been dead for years.
First correction, I am Swiss. Second, look around you. I have never been more alive. In 1972, I received a terminal diagnosis. Science could not save my body. My mind, however, that was worse than on 200,000 feet of data banks. You are standing in my brain.
How did you get here?
Invited them.
Operation Paperclip after World War II showed recruited German scientists with strategic value.
Thought I could help their cause. I also helped my own.
Hydra died with the Red Skull.
Cut off one head, 2 more shall take its place.
Prove it.
Accessing archive. Hydra was founded on the belief that humanity could not be trusted with its own freedom. What we did not realize was that if you try to take that freedom, they resist. The war taught us much. Humanity needed to surrender its freedom willingly. After the war, SHIELD was founded, and I was recruited. The new Hydra grew, a beautiful parasite inside SHIELD. For 70 years, Hydra has been secretly feeding crisis, reaping war. And when history did not cooperate, history was changed.
That's impossible. SHIELD would have stopped you.
Accidents will happen. Hydra created a world so chaotic that humanity is finally ready to sacrifice its freedom to gain its security. Once the purification process is complete, Hydra's new world order will arise. We won, Captain. Your death amounts to the same as your life, a zero sum. As I was saying,
So I think I think everybody's seen it. Like, we already know.
Yeah,
That's
what the
messed up.
normies need to see, what the normies need to recognize when they hear something like that is basically see like, oh, Hydra is pretty much like, you know, deep state, military industrial complex.
Mhm.
Danny Casolaro's octopus, the Illuminati. Like,
Wow, I can't believe that they said
you
you
know,
look
it's
like
been
it
a
would be
while
Don
since
Lemon interviewing interviewing Anthony Mackie if you look quick. Wow.
you know, it's funny because it's actually been a while since I watched Winter Soldier. I didn't even realize that they had a screenshot of Julian Assange in there.
Yes,
That
they did.
actually fucking triggers me so much.
Hmm. Yeah, they were fucking with us. They were fucking with us hardcore right there.
Yeah, Marcus, I thought Misha was cool with us, you know, but he just said it looked like Don Lemon is interviewing Anthony Mackie, yo. Misha was really good. I thought we was cool, though.
Come on, I can see what Varian said. Varian said kind of a Amari Hardwick Ghost. I can see it. Well, he got the style and the swag of Ghost.
Yeah, man. Like, I went through a ghost phase when Power first came out. I was going places. Old ladies was like, "Do you know you watch that show, Power? You look like Ghost." I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Yeah.
Oh my god.
She was like, "Let me see your wing."
See Kelly's comment. Yeah, like I've been watching the press briefings while I exercise because it's a really good motivator. Watching Circle Back Girl, and they keep mentioning Ukraine all the time and everything, like, and these measures they're going to take, but they're really saving their artillery for fucking Iran now and contemplating going nuclear. Fucking bullshit. But it's very infuriating to hear all that rhetoric every day, and then them talking about human rights afterwards. It's like, what the fuck do you care about human rights? Whatever, I can't. They really sold their soul when they get that job spinning the bullshit from the president, the puppet of the hour. Oh man, I couldn't do that job, but to each their own, I guess.
I'll tell you what
I
triggers
could
me.
totally be present.
This name right here, just the last name, Isaac's son, that triggers me. I'll leave it there. I'm not going to explain. I'm pretty sure Jack probably knows why it triggers me, but I'll leave it there.
Glory Kelly is our like resident like comedian in the comment. Like, she always has something funny to say. She said, "Give a wild sermon." Kelly, yeah, I'm taking y'all to church today. Fuck that. I'm gonna pass a collection plate too. Put something in it.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew it. I was like, I'm not giving you any of my money. Just like the other churches. Nope. I would be the one just like passing it by. Passing it to
On the side note, did you guys see what Trump said about Netanyahu today? Did you see that?
He said, "Fuck him," right? I want to see the quote because I've only seen it mentioned on Twitter.
You wait till now to say that? Really?
Yeah.
I know. Golan Heights was totally fine. You know, their little bro ship.
Look, and Trump actually, again, I call him the broken clock guy because, twice a day he's going to be right about something, right? He said, he was the first one to congratulate, Biden on the presidency. He said, all the shit I did for this guy, like, and you did that to me, fuck him, fuck Bibi.
Oh,
and it was
that's
just
why he said that. I thought he was saying it because, he's the genocide of Palestinians, but no.
No, he would never care about that.
Of course, it's always.
I mean, Al.
Yeah, if Trump feels slighted, that's the only time he gives a shit. He's like, fuck that guy now. Now watch, Trump is going to be talking about all the shit that went on with Bibi. For now, I mark my words. He might not talk about it directly,
He's not in
but he's
power
going to be
anymore.
blasting me vaguely.
It's a what's his face?
Benny Gantz.
Naftali.
Oh, Bennett. Naftali Bennett. That's right.
The new puppet.
Yeah, Bennett. It's Bennett.
Naftali.
I didn't
Give
want
me
to
a break.
Naftali Bennett.
saying some really generic sounding like Israeli name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people know where the name Naphtali even comes from. Naphtali is actually one of the tribes of Israel. It's one of the names of actually the 12 tribes, which a lot of people don't realize that there are even 12 tribes because in Israel there's only supposedly 3 tribes. And if you ask most people which tribe they're from, they have no fucking clue. But that's a whole nother, I'm not going to go down that road tonight. It's just a whole nother issue.
Kelly, I'm still waiting for the trial, the corruption trial. We never got it. COVID kept putting it off. I guess COVID just indefinitely removed it from the consciousness of the people in Israel.
Yeah.
And all over the world who don't really seem to give a shit.
Let's see. The first person that congratulated Biden was Bibi Netanyahu, the man that I did far more than any other president. I mean, any other person I dealt with. Bibi could have stayed quiet. He has made a terrible mistake.
No, Trump. That's what I'm saying. Like, Trump was just a puppet at the end of the day. Like, the reason why Bibi was going to congratulate whoever won the presidency was regardless was because either way we'd still be in complete, the U.S. government would still be in complete cahoots with the Zionists. So it's like,
yeah, they would do their bidding,
especially when the main choices were Biden and Trump. Like, Israel was going to win either way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other thing the only thing to me that's notable about this is that the Netanyahu family is intimately close with the Kushner family. So with that being said, that's Trump's, family friend of his son-in-law, and they're all tight. So I just find that a little funny. Like, you decided to mix with this crowd and they J-jerked you. Cry more, bitch.
Signs. They're all bombing. They bomb every time. Every single president bombs people.
Yeah, I know.
Brown
Well,
people
that's why they're
mostly.
asking if he's getting a peace prize.
I know. Did
don't know
Trump
if
get
he's-
one? No.
No.
They're very partisan.
I thought he was gonna get one at one time.
They floated it as a possibility.
I don't think Biden's going to get one, but I think Blinken's going to get one.
Oh, for fuck's sake, that guy.
I'm going to get.
Oh, come on, guys! No, you're forgetting the most popular person in the entire administration, Kamala, who received the most votes in the primaries. You know,
And has
she's
not
going to get the Peace Prize.
Did you guys happen to see
pissed anyone off.
what the woman, one of the journalists who won the Nobel Peace Prize
Yes,
for
I saw
journalism
that.
had to say? Did you see her remarks?
I
No.
didn't see the specific remarks, but I think they're not independent, like they say, though.
She is well, she's a Filipino, and so she had a startup like little media outlet to speak out against Duarte, which she's done and has come under a lot of fire. But she's up there talking about how like Mark Zuckerberg is the devil for promoting allowing fake news about January 6th to go forward. She specifically
See, that's why she got it.
And fake
Yeah.
news and
Yeah,
how
okay, there we go.
how everybody's talking about how they need to clamp down on social media and regulate social media. Mark Zuckerberg is an asshole, but he's got the metaverse now, so he's technically there's no Facebook anymore. Remember, guys, it's Meta.
Well, that's the company, but like they still
Yeah.
have the website and everything. And
You know, my
Instagram.
phone, it still says Meta. It still says Facebook.
Yeah,
Does it say by Meta
I don't
yet?
do it,
Because
but it does
Instagram
exist.
does.
I haven't noticed. I'll have to check.
DeGram, yeah, Steve DeGram says that.
Facebook.com.
I don't fuck with the gram anymore. I only fuck with them for cat pictures. I just put
That's the only
cat.
place
When
I
I lived
can
with a
see
cat,
something
I got on
online.
Instagram and posted a bunch of cat pictures for likes.
Never posted anything on Instagram.
I stopped posting shit on Instagram.
E, you don't use
2 years
Instagram?
I do not.
Oh,
Smart
okay.
guy.
I didn't use Instagram for a long time. I have it, but there's only a few people I follow. You know, it's mainly from my family and shit. But other than that, like, I don't really use it. You know what's funny? Instagram is going to be for us what Facebook is to our parents. So I'm about to like make an exit off the gram before I become.
That's why I never even touched it.
somebody's
Well,
grandparent.
that's like WhatsApp to African and Caribbean and Latin families.
Oh my god, my whole family, and they don't even say it
Oh
right.
my-
WhatsApp. Yo, you saw WhatsApp? I don't know what WhatsApp is.
So true. That's so true. I had to download WhatsApp just for my birthday because that was how like my entire Jamaican side was gonna call me to wish me happy birthday.
I don't
Damn,
like that
did
you
Jack
can't
just-
get on Facebook or Instagram without like having an account anymore. They fucked that up for the people who stalked
Yeah, they
accounts.
did. Twitter too.
Because I used to stalk David
You
Geffen,
can't
and now I
move
can
through
do
any
it
of them without an account. You have to sign in.
Marcus, I
You have
thought
to
the
sign in
people
for
are
all
actually.
link.
Marcus, I thought some of the people in the crowd liked me. You know, first Misha called me Don Lemon, and then Jack Sis I think just called me an Insta thought in the nicest possible way.
Calling you an instant thought. Hey, I mean, that's honestly what most of Instagram is at this point. I mean, I still listen.
That's all it is.
I follow my boy the Deacon on there, Deacon Sakari. I follow and I watch a lot of Tony Baker funny ass clips where he's, you know, making animals say shit that they look like they saying to you anyway. So, you know, that's pretty much what I watch it mostly for. I ain't gonna lie, every now and then I'm like, ooh, she thick. No, I'm just playing.
But like most of it isn't even like real girls anymore. It's just bots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And bots
It's
make more
bots.
money than people sometimes.
To me, it's like bots and like advertisements for doctors or plastic surgeons because they do a hell of a job on some of these women. It's like, goddamn, like, you know, that's just kind of crazy. Like Marcus said, oh, she thick. Oops.
What if she's not real? What if she's in the metaverse?
That's
You
the
gotta, you
problem.
gotta.
That's where we going.
Then they could get married.
We're going to the metaverse anyway. We already talked about the metaverse weddings.
Meta thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did you see that story
Oh,
about
Jack,
that?
it's all good, man. No offense, Jack. It's all good.
This chick
the
had never
dog
met this
filter.
guy and they got married and they were like, it's the best wedding ever or the best marriage ever. Yeah, because you never met.
then they got-
Like, you don't have to worry about
And
anything.
then they got jammed up because it was they compared it to like Final Fantasy, World of Warcraft, RuneScape. They were like listing all these better weddings, and they were better. All of them were. They've been doing that for decades. Virtual reality has been around for a while.
Oh my gosh, there was a story on Twitter trending, not really trending, but promoted or whatever, where it was like these trans they're called VTubers. They use like avatars, but it's a safe space for trans people to have communications with other people and have relationships online, and they feel like they're their real selves, but they haven't transitioned. And like there was such a fucking conversation going on in the thread that it was ridiculous. It was just like back and forth throughout, which is exactly what Twitter wants when they put those stories out. They want people to attack each other online. And
Jussie Smollet's sentence was he has to share a cell with his attacker.
I mean, I don't think that should be a sentence. I don't think he'll take that as a punishment.
He ain't even in jail.
Right, I think that'll be more like a vacation with bars, right? Not a
That's a different type of punishment.
right.
And Don Lemon's punishment, he had to go and visit him in conjugal. Whoops, did I say that?
Oh yeah, he was mentioned in the trial. Yeah, they had communications before his interview, so that was very nefarious. That Don Lemon gave him a heads up that the police department, the Chicago Police Department, were thinking that he had pretended to get the hate crime.
Yeah, this was Don Lemon. He was like, "Justin, they're not taking your story. They don't believe you."
Yep.
Oh shit! Wait, he's guilty. Fuck that liar. That was him.
Oh my
He
God,
basically
that
was like,
interview.
all ride or die until he got busted.
That I haven't watched it. Has anybody seen any clips from Charlemagne the God interviewing Travis Scott after the whole?
I've seen one clip of it.
Oh, Lord Chief Justice Jones, did you watch that madness?
Did I watch the interview? No, I saw like a clip with that had like Charlemagne the God interviewing Travis Scott. I said to myself, "What the fuck is this nonsense?" And I scrolled up.
It was bad.
Continue.
It was bad. Don't watch it. Don't do it to yourselves. It was horrible. Travis did
worse
do
than
it.
the R. Kelly interview.
Was it as bad as Alec Baldwin?
No, it wasn't Alec
my
Baldwin.
God, please
or
don't
Gail
watch
King
that.
and Kelly
That was-
bad,
My
but
goodness, they keep putting their foot in their
That
mouth.
was
Like
terrible.
Yeah,
nothing
Kelly-
needs to be on camera.
I was gonna say
It's on
Kelly.
that
Yeah,
Mount
he comes
Rushmore.
from a big family. It's a lot of the Smollets. It's a lot of them.
Yes,
His
Journey.
sister is actually a much more famous actor than he is.
She was in
It's
the Freedom Right. Was it called? Like Denzel Washington was in it.
Yeah,
Freedom Writers.
that debate movie, whatever it was.
The Great Debaters. Yeah.
Yeah,
And she
But-
was all like saying all this stuff about her brother and everything. I was like, you can admit that he was wrong now. Like it was after the hoax was like obvious, and he got caught. And I was like, girl, I know we all have our mistakes of brothers. We have to deal with the mistakes of our family, but we just need to acknowledge it and move on, please.
Yeah,
Like-
no, provided it happened. I saw footage of it. Didn't watch it, but I saw the footage.
like
No,
what I
it was-
remember his sister
it was bad.
is East Bayou. If you've seen East Bayou,
what I
that's the
remember.
movie she like broke out with. It was like fucking like 10 or 11 of them. It's a lot of them.
Oh, speaking of which, did you guys know that speaking of entertainment bullshit, did you guys know Wonder Woman is gay?
Huh?
Isn't everyone gay now?
What?
Even asexuals, aren't we all gay now? Isn't that the point?
But didn't
But
she like?
Chris, isn't she married?
Wasn't
She's
she
gay,
like?
Emmanuel.
Just deal
But like,
with it,
wasn't she
man.
getting together with what's his face, Chris Pine's character?
No, I thought
He
she was
died.
married to like a dude and had a kid and everything.
They killed his ass off.
Nah, but
Oh,
in the
oh,
second
Wonder
one,
Woman in
didn't they
the
bring him back?
comic. The comic. Oh, right. Okay, never mind.
No,
Wonder Woman in the
they
comic.
just posted. I saw something yesterday, and it kind of caught my attention, right? And it was saying, "Oh, you know, it's this community's biggest hope now that she's gay. She's messing with Superman's sister. I didn't even know he had a sister, but she's messing with Superman's sister, and they like love each other and
Supergirl.
all this other shit." I'm like,
Why
yo,
can't we-
Batman's the new Robin is gay, Superman's son is bisexual, Wonder Woman now gay, Iceman from the X-Men is gay. I'm like, yo, they taking all the shit away from little boys that they used to like really fucking like. The shit that we grew up with, they all gay. Who wants to read that shit? I'm sorry, I'm just saying.
Well, the thing for me, which is interesting, is comic books, and I'm not saying that there are not women who were into comic books or little girls growing up, but this was mostly teenage boys were into comic books, and they were the ones who were mostly, and it was geared mostly towards them. Now we're going to say, you know what? We're going to change the whole focus and push it in a whole new woke agenda version to, I guess, hopefully attract a new audience. I mean, all right, Kevin Foggy. I mean, try it. I honestly wasn't a big fan of them switching to a black Captain America, especially if you watch the show Captain America and Winter Falcon. It's just not good.
Yeah, I don't want a black Captain America because, like, I feel like black people deserve better.
Yeah, I mean,
bisexual.
What I see when I see a black Captain America, I see a sellout. That's what I see. Sellout. I see what's the word? We would call it a house. I think you can figure out the rest.
Yeah.
So Marcus, you were more
Oh, I'm the field type. Yeah, I'm the field type, definitely.
No, I was going to say you empathize more with Isaiah than Isaiah Bradley, the dude that they were paying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he's talking about, yes. And I don't buy that whole like turnaround. How he's like, I guess he could have. No. I still identify with that same mentality. Can there be allies? Yes. Can we get past some of the things, but to just forgive this country and to be the shining example for it? Fuck all that. That's bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
This country still won't even apologize for this shit properly. So why the fuck? No. Sorry, you're gonna get me into a rant.
Why not just be like, I'm gonna be like
vestiges
Captain
of slavery
Ethiopia or
still
something.
the vestiges of slavery still exist even today. I mean, we are still seeing the echoes of slavery even now.
Yes.
Socially, economically.
I mean, in the freaking movie, he's dealing with not being able to get along because he's black. He's dealing with racial profiling from the fucking cops. I mean, there's so much shit which they're showing, and then now these Captain America's all going to be different now. But that might be different for his ass. But what about all the other people who look just like him who aren't Captain America?
That's what they do in real life with all these big,
want
positions these guys get. But they're still
look,
puppets.
Marcus, I listen to a lot of dance hall. When I was coming up, it was Badman forward, Badman pull up, that kind of stuff. And Badman, no, just like, girl, like, that's the kind of shit I grew up on. Like, that's my shit. I can't lie. So when I see all this kind of shit, it's like, damn, dog. If you were Superman, like, yo, really, the first thing you're going to do is try to find a dude? Like, really? You know what shit you could do? You don't go find a guy? Like, Oh,
He's an
man.
alien.
Or if you're Wonder Woman, you're not gonna try to find the baddest, biggest around. Like, yo, let me go try to, they messing it up. And these writers
What
named
it is, and I just feel like what's happening is because of people in Hollywood and in these industries, because they feel a certain way about certain things, they are overly putting what they would want the world to be like in all the damn comic books.
Did
Now,
you guys see? I wanted to interrupt that just for a second. You always interrupt, so I'm going to interrupt. So, in a fun way, that's a fun dig. But did you guys see this whole thing on Twitter with? They were promoting this yesterday on that show. The chick who's Supergirl, the Supergirl show. All these people got so angry because this Lex Luthor's sister, Lena Luthor, didn't end up with Kara, the Supergirl, in the end of the finale. And she ended up like alone or whatever. And they were like so pissed that they didn't consummate anything, even though there was no mention in the show of them being more than friends. They just had it all in their heads.
I'm just like as someone who grew up being a nerd and still is a massive nerd, really, like I was in this nerd space and like, yeah, it was dominated by like, white males, but like, why not just like why they completely forgot to like make the characters like, badass and like relatable and emotional. And now they're just like dead. I don't know what else to say.
Well, I mean, it's like, and my thing is, why can't you just create characters where that is who they are? Why do you have to take established characters who have been around forever, who people have enjoyed the character the way they are, and literally like 50% of the characters have to all switch to identify with a group of people, which is like less than 5% at best of the population, and now like 50% of the superheroes are all that way. I mean, that's the equity. That's not.
They have to take the existing superheroes because nobody is going to buy a book with a hero called Praxis, the mopey Starbucks employee.
Her superpower is being able to get everybody dressed very sharply.
Superpower is being able to scream theory at people and calling everyone they disagree with fash. That's the superpower. The ability to throw away their rights for a convenient Twitter dopamine hit.
Steve, I would imagine you've been called fascist a lot.
Once or twice, man. Today.
In the last 5 minutes.
I advocate the total abolishment of the state. I'm not really sure where they're getting fascist from, but
I'm just like, bro, like it's possible to make like badass female or like badass black characters without SJWing them.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it like this. For instance, like it was great how they brought up Black Panther. For instance, find a way, bring Killmonger back. That's another character you can have. Do a whole new storyline of M'Baku. That's just in one damn movie you could do. There's what's his name? Fucking Blade, and the Mahershala Ali playing Blade. Oh, I think that's gonna be so bad.
They won't.
Just want to put that out. I think it's going to be horrible. But you can bring that up. You got Luke Cage out there. You got so many other freaking ones, black ones. We don't need a black Batman. Sorry,
Yeah,
I said.
Just make just make another black superhero that's even better. Like, or make another woman superhero that's even better.
Glory?
That's too much work.
Oh, but you know who does put in the work? You know who does put in the work? anime. That's why I watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
I gotta get to my
Seriously,
Your Name.
they put in the work even in the manga and in the anime. They put in the work. They write these things. Like if you want that super crazy freaky shit, there's a lane for you. What they not doing is
There's a
taking
market.
Goku and rewriting Goku and making him and Vegeta have a relationship. That's what they not doing.
That's what fanfiction
I mean,
was for.
not canonically, but
Not canonically.
Correct.
It doesn't matter if
You're
it's
right.
canonic.
Oh, wow. Snort, you got me there. There will not be a black Batman. It will be a transsexual black Batman.
Transsexual
I
Black
don't.
Lives
I
Matter.
don't.
I
Oh,
mean,
trans. We're supposed
like,
to say trans now.
like I'll give you another example. Like, for instance, like Hawkeye. I've already heard how this series ends, but if you want to build up the female Hawkeye, which she is in the comics, and you want to make her lesbian, which it appears they're going to make this character, why do you have to get rid of Hawkeye? Why can't you have Hawkeye and have her? You don't have to get rid of and kill off all of the characters and change them in some kind of way.
they
And
did it
the
in the
thing about
comic book, and it happened just fine. They kept
I
both
mean,
of them.
and it's so clunky and obvious because they're dropping like one after another. It's not like okay, it's going through a succession and letting it go. It's just like okay, any white male who's basically a superhero, that character needs to be died off and replaced with a minority, female, LGBTQ, something. We just got to get rid of all the white male characters, and I just feel like why don't you just
Yeah.
add more? The Eternals.
Or like make them a mentor. Like it could be an equally compelling storyline where like you have the white hero mentoring like the young black or like young female hero, and then through that you can like introduce the way that like society works to people. So as the young hero is learning from their mentor, like the mentor is learning how the real world works outside of like a simple good guy bad guy narrative.
Hmm. I mean, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you could do that, but for me, like my line is if they fuck with Professor X and Magneto, like that's it. Like yo, Hollywood, I'm coming to burn shit down. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I've read all the X-Men books. Those are my dudes. Like, leave my man Professor X alone. Leave him alone. Don't fuck with him.
I feel that.
Well, it's already sad that that whole thing got like co-opted by an alleged pedo, Bryan Singer, who got control over the whole fucking thing.
Well, the crazy thing is that Kevin Feige, the new person that Kevin Feige put in charge of whatever, I can't remember her name or what her position is, but she's like, X-Men is offensive. The name X-Men.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be X people or something.
What?
Right.
Men used to be the go-to
Hey,
word
can we
for a group of people.
Can we jump to a positive subject in the world of comic book characters in the MCU and things like that? Talk about
Demon
Letitia
Slayer
Wright being a
episode
fucking
2
badass.
of the Entertainment District arc dropping tomorrow. You're right.
So Letitia Wright, certified badass.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
She's gone.
She's against the grain.
I mean, they're kicking her out of the whole MCU. She was being talked about to be the next Black Panther.
They loved her at the beginning.
Oh yeah, I love her.
She was being groomed for success.
I mean, I love her character too, because it's like, because it's like
She was the best
scene,
character.
I know there was a scene in Infinity War where like they had to take Vision to get the what was it, the Time Stone or whatever, like one of the Infinity Stones removed from his head, and like they were trying to figure out what to do, and Tony Stark is there, was like, oh no, I couldn't figure out how to like separate the stone from his cells, and she was just like, oh well, why didn't you just pre-program this and this and this, and he's like, I didn't think of that, and she was like, you tried.
Well, we know Well, we know the real reason for Letitia and all this negative stuff is because of her comments about, about
Well,
a
yeah,
certain
no, I'm just
particular
saying it's
outfit.
awesome that she was totally willing to walk away from that, and it's great that she's able to like stand on her principles because you're getting dragged for it, dude. And there are people popping up out of the woodwork to just announce to anyone in Hollywood or New York or whatever that, hey, dude, I'm for sale. I am. You want me to shoot whatever into my body for you for money? I will do that. I have no principles whatsoever. None.
And they'll do ads for it.
Oh, it wasn't. I'm trying to remember. Was it Ice Cube who
Hey, I watched
turned
Birds
down
of
a
Prey too.
huge,
Yeah.
turned down a huge
no.
deal? Was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
He said, hell no. Oh,
Yeah,
hell no.
he walked away from Disney money. Or no, he had Disney money. He walked away from like 9 mil on something. I can't remember what.
Jack Black stayed.
Of course, Jack
And
Black's
you know,
gonna
all
stay.
of those, and you know, all of the stories about Letitia Wright, you know, they're all from third parties, fourth parties, fifth parties, sixth parties. I haven't actually seen anyone who is like close to her acting with her, the actual director, you know, her agent, anyone who's like, you know, in her circle, say what the media reports are saying, because I'm referring to the range controls character. I mean, comment talking about the mandates. I didn't see her other than her Instagram posts and shit, but every report that comes out about her is like, oh, sources say, sources say, sources say, which is AKA bullshit.
That's their go-to. When they want to take care of a celebrity, they have to say, sources say this. This source said this, blah, blah, blah.
A friend said
and now they're going
this.
after Jim
A
Brewer,
trusted official
too,
said
and
that.
calling him right-wing because he went to a right-wing conference thing and did like a whole set, and now they're making fun of him.
Well, of course. I mean, that's what shit libs do. Remember, I got called a Proud Boy.
If you're not stepping in line.
Oh, that's right. We didn't let Steve and Glory know. Emmanuel and Elle and myself, we all know. And for the audience, in case you didn't know, Marcus Young Morpheus Cage, aka Marcus Rage, is also a Proud Boy, according to the Eclectic Radical. For not believing.
I mean, I've seen Elle marching with Proud Boys before.
I have, in fact, I have a picture of Marcus with his arm around a known fascist. It's true. It's true.
I have footage of Elle marching in Hollywood alongside right-wing fascists and Proud Boys.
Yep, all of this is true. Today on Twitter, I learned Marcus is a raging lunatic.
I learned that a while ago. Maybe like 5 months ago.
Everybody knows that. Hey, you get what you get with me, and so don't be surprised when some crazy shit happens. Okay, crazy follows me around. It's like rain.
Oh yeah, I think I figured out the first time we were on a panel together with who was it? Oh yeah, Franco put us on a panel with Israel from Big Talk Little Talk of all people, which he did on purpose, by the way. That was fun.
Oh yeah. Says Proud Boy ? Fascinating. You hold a very diverse mindset. I'm truly more drawn to your content to see which interviews you will talk to. Who knows? I honestly, over here, we talk to about anybody. I mean, now as long as you're not some crazy fucking like, if you're somebody who you march with the 2-party system, we don't want nothing to do with you at all. If you have Rachel Maddow saving your DVR, we do not want to talk to you. If you think Jackson Hinkle is a good person to listen to, we don't want to talk to you. I mean, in all honesty, if you believe that there's a chance in electoral politics to get anything done, We don't want to talk to you. What were you gonna say, Chris?
I mean, I'll talk to a Zionist because it's fun to fuck with them.
Well, if somebody
No,
wants to
but they
see,
are. But the thing with the Zionists, though, they're freaking honest. They don't. I
well,
mean, they
no,
lie.
Oh no, never.
I
Wait,
No, I'm
Chris
saying.
got it.
No,
did you forget?
when they
Did
talk
you
to you,
forget my debate?
no, what I'm saying is when they're talking to you and they're telling you that you're a little piece of shit, they're being honest, right? In terms of the media, yes, they're big liars, but as soon as the camera's off, they gonna tell you ain't shit.
No, did you? You didn't? You don't remember my debate? I debated what is his name? If you guys don't know, check out my Hebrew apologetics page, and I debate a guy by the name of Alan Bell.
Skeptical. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
I
will see.
remember
You will
Alan.
see the most lying and goalpost moving ever in a debate if you watch that. And I literally give this guy sources. And after it was over, which people don't see this part, I literally sent this guy over like 30 different sources, and he denied everything I said. So no, some of you motherfuckers just lie their ass off.
Yeah, Jack, they did Mantis too. They made Mantis gay as well on the Young Justice program on HBO. He's gay as well.
Wait, hang on.
God damn.
Made him gay now. Where
Yes.
you been, bro? Where you been?
Oh, he wasn't before?
Mantis was always gay. He was the leather
Oh, I
daddy
didn't know
from
that. Really?
way back.
Oh, damn, dog. Like why always the people that look like us gotta be in the comic books when we finally come up? Like, we don't like the opposite sex. What the hell?
It's not
Did
my
you
fault.
watch?
It's not
Did
my
you
fault.
watch Eternals, Chris?
Oh
Yes,
gosh, we're gonna talk about that, huh? Oh Lord.
That
Glory.
shit was so
The dude-
mid, bro. I felt no attachment to any of the characters whatsoever.
Glory, let me tell you, the dude who made all the weapons, him
He's
too?
gay.
Yeah. Bro,
It's
like,
gay.
did y'all really have to blame
Everyone is gay.
Hiroshima on a black guy, on a black man?
Yeah, you're gonna. And my point I brought up, as I said, so you're gonna tell me that a black guy has all the weapons, and he's created all the weapons in the world, atomic bomb, and he let fucking slavery happen?
Yeah. Well, you're gonna tell me black man, eternal, literally like smartest being on the earth in that moment, knows all the weapons that are gonna be made, and your first thought is, oh, let's have a black man invent the atomic bomb. Not
Oh
like
yeah.
massive irrigation structures or like a cool spaceship. No, a bomb.
Wow. Talk about playing blame game. It's like, hey, I know it was a certain group of people, but let's not be honest and tell the truth that we're the one that did this. Because here's the thing. In the comics, he is not a black guy who does that. And their comics are fairly new, and it's not, and they already changed it for the movie to just say, we're gonna make the black guy. I'm just gonna say, leave it. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Look, that's why I prefer now.
I mean,
that's
even
why I've always
America,
preferred.
even America can't even acknowledge just rolling the atomic bomb. Like, what was that? Like 1990s? Remember when the Smithsonian was going to do like a full nuclear? They were going to go into a full display of what happened and everything, and like World War II vets came in and were like, "Nah, this can't happen," and just dismantled the whole thing. It was just utterly ridiculous. The Smithsonian was going to tell the full truth about what it did and the devastation and what America did.
Also,
Look,
another thing I have with the movie, you have like the main character is so like frustratingly weak because there's one scene where like what's her face? I don't know her name, Cersei or something like that. Like she turns one of like these deviant monster things into a tree. I'm like, why don't you turn one of the monsters into a machine gun to beat the other monsters with? Like there's so much creative potential in these powers that was so lacking in the movie, and because they were trying to channel it all into like this identity politics bullshit, I'm like, oh my god, come on. Like, just make
Correct.
the
It was about having the deaf, Middle Eastern girl and the gay black guy and the troubled white guy who flies into the sun to kill himself. It's just like
that was so dumb.
It's horrible, and you could just see where they're going. They're screwing everything up to the point to where you're not going to watch this anymore. And these are such money makers, and you just wonder why you would upset your money makers like this. But clearly, the message and the agenda behind it is more important than the money that they're going to make from it. That's very telling. So when we speak of a certain agenda, we're not just saying this because they hate people. It's not about hate. It's just about calling out. If we playing spades or dominoes, and you keep throwing, certain cards, like I'm looking where you leaning at, I see where you're going, and it's almost like they don't like us calling them out on it. I don't know why, but
I mean, it kind of reminds me. Well, and another thing about the whole Immortals thing, it seemed like every freaking it's like, oh well, it's not a hot story now, so let's just every freaking celebrity who wants to jump on the bandwagon, let's just throw him in the fucking movie now. Everybody gets to be a superhero now. Oh Lord, Salma Hayek, are you serious?
I saw her in the movie. I was like, what?
I'll just keep that. I'll just keep her.
When was she in superhero movies?
Correct. When I think of Salma Hayek, Steve, I'll just continue to think of Desperados. And what was the other one? What was it?
From
what
Dusk
was the
Till
other
Dawn.
one?
From
Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
The snake.
And I mean, like, Salma Hayek's played badass characters before. Like, you don't need to make her some like super weak superhero that dies within the first 20 minutes. Spoiler alert! I'm sorry. It's not.
Oh, don't worry, you ain't spoiled nothing for me because I ain't even gonna watch that bullshit.
So you're good.
I don't watch any of it anymore.
I'm a nerd. I'm a movie junkie. I couldn't help myself. I was like scrolling through an alleged pirate site, and it came up, and I was like, yeah, why not?
Lawan,
Glory,
please
cite your source. Like me. You're in good company. I can't help it. I'm a nerd.
I can't help it.
Word.
It's like, I don't like Hollywood, but when Godzilla vs. Kong came out, like, I was fully into that shit. I debated one of Steve's sons, like, on who would win, and I was right. So, yeah, I can't.
Yeah, I want Lawan to cite his source on that. The story of Gilgamesh is older than the Old Testament, and it's just a mythic quest and kind of weird. Please cite that source. Also, just because something might be older than the book doesn't mean it can't be written into the book. There's a such thing as oral stories and oral traditions. Just wanted to say that.
Gilgamesh is a great story, though. I am a sucker for ancient Mesopotamian stories. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh, and speaking of changing stuff, get ready for Thor, Love and Thunder, where his girlfriend's about to become Thor. So
y'all see that poster though?
It's in the comic though. I mean, it happened in the comic first. Remember?
It did, So that's the only reason why I'm not 100% worked up over it. But at the same time, like after you gave us the fat Thor in the prior movie, you need to give us like Thor, doing what he's supposed to.
Sorry, I got to do a little chastisement briefly here, because sometimes it's better to deal with things while people are right there, and so I can say it to them directly. And sometimes it's better to say it in front of people instead of just saying it back and forth because they don't listen. DJL is in here. Ed. Most of us
That's
We
who I
have been your
remember.
friends.
That's where I know who he's from. Oh my
We have
god.
been your friends for a while. But if you do not stop this excessive behavior you're doing, if somebody does not want to listen to you, they do not have to listen to you. You're not being shut down or something. Nobody has to listen to me. Nobody has to listen to any of us. And so you cannot try to force your will to make people listen to you or threaten them. If I see you threatening anybody else, I guarantee you I'm going to make sure to put the word out. And this is not going, I'm just putting it to you, this is not going to be acceptable. Sorry to dampen the mood, but Ed knows
No, he
exactly what
threatened
I'm talking
somebody. He
about.
threatened somebody I knew. Right. He threatened somebody else I knew too. And she's
Yeah,
like really worried.
this is going to stop. So those who know me,
That was
I don't
ridiculous when I heard
just
that.
because we're having a conversation don't mean that I ain't gonna. All they can do is cancel me. I don't care, and if they cancel you, they cancel you. So what? Get over it. Be an adult. Grow up. I'm always gonna be real with you. And like Chris will tell you, I'm real with everybody. I'm real with all my friends. If I'm fucking up in some ways, I want my friends to be real with me also. But you gotta calm down some of the shit you're doing. I'm hearing, I'm seeing a lot of stuff that is not cool, my friend. But yeah, I guess on that note, Glory and Glory and Steve, you guys got anything like coming up that you guys want to plug for us that you want to let everybody know out in the audience that they need to look forward to?
Vanessa Beeley's coming back tomorrow. She'll be on to talk about being the subject of the UK's new Let's Go Target journalists. Now that we've got Julian Assange locked away safely, she was detained at Heathrow for about 6 hours when she was on her way in. They took all of her devices, drained them. She's pretty heated about it. So she'll be talking about that. Monday morning, Addie Ads, who's been out in front of the Maxwell trial, is going to be on in the morning show to give me a live update. Piers Robinson will be on to talk about his OPCW report that he compiled on Thursday. Good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff.
Sweet. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, one of these days down the line in the future, hopefully I get to have her on the show and talk to her. And she does some excellent work. So I mean, man, it's good. It's good to hear that she's out of the crap that she's been dealing with. Would you like to let everybody sit down and stay on? Would you like to let everybody know all the different ways that they can find you in Glory?
Slownewsdayshow.com. We're on Rockfin, Odyssey, DLive, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. I think that's it for the time being. A bunch of podcast apps. Let's see. Yeah, go ahead, Jones. You got stuff too.
Oh boy, there's a lot of stuff. Okay, well, I'll lead off with Commander X, who's currently, for those of you who don't know, Commander X is currently being held in Santa Rita jail because of decade-old DDoS charges. There's an echo. I think it's coming.
Oh, yeah, it's you.
Okay, yeah, all good. Basically, Commander X is currently being held in Santa Rita jail up in Dublin, California for decade-old DDoS charges because of his role in DDoS attacks against the city of Santa Cruz and the city of Orlando for their treatment of the homeless and homeless advocacy group Food Not Bombs. So for any updates in that case, you can follow at @FreeCommanderX_ on Twitter. And yeah, that's where you can find all the updates in the case, as well as information on how to write to him, how to send him commissary, if you can spare him any, but don't press yourself, please. And then that's that. Myself, I'm on Slow News Day, and we'll be broadcasting a show tomorrow. And I also have a Hive blog. It's at Zero Eclipse with 2 E's, which I write on sometimes, but not so much now because all my writing is going into school right now. And yeah, I also appear on Anonymous Bites Back a Lot, which airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. East Coast time. And yeah. Yes, the range control. I think back in June, he essentially got renditioned from Mexico to the U.S. Conveniently, a couple days after Kamala Harris had a president with Mr. AMLO, president of Mexico. So yeah, he was extradited back to the United States to face 10-year-old DDoS charges because America.
Oh, sorry. Did you cut out?
Oh no, I didn't. I just stopped.
I understand. Sometimes we have to hold some things back.
Oh,
Yeah.
hold on. I got an important thing, and I meant to ask you guys. Did you guys see this important thing that happened the other night? Kanye and Drake? I mean, we can leave on a light note. Did you guys watch any of that?
I saw some of it. The simping. I saw the simping part.
No,
in
what
Runaway.
happened?
Well, Kanye was doing
No,
Runaway. And he
No, go ahead, Al. Go ahead.
he finished it with like some ad libs, and then he said like what did he say? He said fuck, I forgot what he said, but he said like
Run back to me. Run back to me.
Right. Run back to me. Run back to me.
Especially Kimberly.
In what did he say? In specifically Kimberly, like something like that. He said that. To be specific, Kimberly. That's what he said. To be specific, Kimberly. That was the line. So then everybody was like, shit, he's simping all over the internet after that. And they had he had them in their feels and stuff. But then they were like doing the memes with Pete Davidson and stuff. But Pete Davidson is not a number one. I'm sorry, but like Ariana got rid of that guy. She'll get rid of him. He's not a number one. He's not going to be there. That's just the way it is. Sometimes you're just not the number one guy. I'm not saying Kanye is. I'm just saying he's not.
But Steve, look, he don't look like he know how to put it down. I'm just saying, like, so the fact that he gets left, Marcus, I just gotta keep it real. He just look like he don't know what he's doing. I'm sorry. He look like he'd be like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm here. Oh shit, oh, it's over, right? That's what he looks like. Like.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh man. Well, wow. I don't even know how to finish that one
Let's
there.
hope he doesn't end up like Mac Miller, Kanye.
No, but hold on, no. Drake and Kanye was really out there to perform somewhat. Drake was just really out there like, well, I don't want to try hard because even though Kanye's catalog is better than my entire shit, probably Graduation eats up like 90% of Drake's catalog if we're keeping it a buck. You know what I'm saying?
Drake is mid. Drake trying to do
Bobby Brown.
Bro, him trying to do drill was a crime against humanity.
It really was. Back in the day, we used to call weed like Bobby Brown or Reggie Bush. And to me, that is what Drake's catalog is. Some Bobby Brown and Reggie Bush. And I ain't talking about the real Bobby and Reggie. I'm just saying that's that weed that got a whole bunch of seeds and sticks in it. They didn't separate their plants properly. And, they got a bad product.
You're not even a midget? You're not even a midget?
Not to me. Like, I mean, I'm really into hip hop. Like, to people who really know me. Like, they know music is my lifeblood. Like, I can't do anything without music. And to listen to Drake is like, son, that's like a lullaby. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it should put me
It's
to
like
sleep.
a lullaby. It's like so corporate sometimes too, or at least yeah, that's how I feel like listening to Beyonce, honestly. But
Yeah,
You
like
know,
his new song.
but sometimes even Beyonce comes off and it's like, all right, B, you actually did that. I'm not part of Beehive. Like, I got my issues with her. I'm a big Hov fan. I can't lie. Shadow Band, if you're still listening, Jay better than Nas, but I love Nas. Nas is my dude. But you know, me and Shadow Band be going back and forth. But look, I'm a Hov dude. I can't lie. That's my man. He spits. You know, I'm just saying.
Like I honestly can't stand this new Drake song I've been hearing on the radio a lot because one of the guys I work with, he'll have either it goes back and forth between sports talk and hip hop station, and it's like I'm too sexy for my this, and I'm like, shut your dumb ass up. This is just fucking stupid. This is stupid. That's what you just sound like a fucking idiot. Jeez. Oh man. Oh, there you go. That's for you, L. I just find Pete so unattractive. I don't know why what anybody would see in him. Yeah, I saw that on
Misha, sorry for your loss, bro.
much love, Misha.
And I was gonna say, Misha, DM me,
I'm sorry to hear that, Misha.
or I'll hit you up in the DM and send you my number if you need to talk at all. It doesn't matter what time. Give me a call and then we'll talk about it, brother. So I know what that's like. I've been through it way more than I like to admit. But yeah.
Marcus, hold on. Elle just showed us how much of a savage she really is. Elle, I love it. Elle said Drake is Wait, hold on. What did Elle
She
say?
said Drake should have stayed in the wheelchair.
Damn.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Good lord. What do you do to you? So vicious. The ferocity.
Dude, man, if I start falling off, I already know Elle gonna come at me hardcore. She's like, why don't you go back to high school drama class?
Yo,
Goodness,
hell. Look, E's ad libs today. He said, "Damn, what he did to you, yo, E."
He said, "Good lord."
The funniest part was when Kanye was doing "Find Your Love" by Drake in front of Drake, and Drake was like hyped to it, and it's like, yeah, it's way better than your version.
Well, did you see Drake come out? The first song he did was 24 off of Kanye's latest album.
I would not listen to that. I'm sorry.
No, he covered the whole thing. He actually sang 24.
I know he did, but I just missed it on purpose.
No, I saw it. It was, you know, again, I'm a glutton for punishment, so I watched it. You know what I'm saying? But I was just happy he did I Wonder and Flashing Lights. Like, I was super hyped.
When he did Best I Ever Had, I knew he couldn't sing, and I was like, why is he trying?
It's all auto-tune. It's all auto-tune, and it's not good.
Bro. Oh, it's trash.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, I don't know, some of these people, he needs to realize, stay going on songs with people like Future who already sound terrible. Don't go on songs with actually really talented people, because when he tried to do his reggaeton thing, and he went on with Bad Bunny, it didn't work out good at all.
Here's the thing: if you don't use
that worked, Marcus. I do have to say that did work outside, though. I know what you're saying, but that song did work outside.
Yeah, but as soon as Bad Bunny went on, Bad Bunny made him look silly. It's the same thing with I can't think of that one. Was it Tory Lanez when he tried to do that song with Ozuna? No,
Bro, like reggaeton is one of those trends that like you can't just hop onto it
No, you cannot.
just cause it's a trend. Like, no, you will have to be in it already to be good at it.
Because you can get away with that stuff with people who don't speak Spanish. To a Spanish-speaking audience, you sound like an
Oh, yeah.
idiot.
So like as like someone who grew up in Miami, I'm just like, nah.
I'm just
Like,
saying, to
basura, the
me,
fuck is this?
Oh, look, real quick. If you guys like 80s music, yo, Tory Lanez dropped that album Alone at Prom. It's straight 80s music. If you listen to it, it really sounds like some
Not gay 80s.
It's some 80s music. You should check it out. It's really actually it's not a bad project. I fuck with Tory Lanez. He ain't shoot Megan. We gonna find that out.
Oh
That's
my
my
God.
biggest conspiracy right now. He ain't shoot her, and we gonna find out soon enough. If he go to
Okay.
jail, they fucking with him.
There's an actual 80s band that got back together, which is Tears for Fears. Shout out to them and their new album.
did?
Tipping Point. They
About
did.
half of them were
After
dead.
17 years, they made an album.
Never heard of that band.
Gone.
No, The Tipping Point. Check it out. That's the new project that they did together.
Let's
After
see.
17 years.
Octavia Stewart, I think she said this before, says vast tech. I'm not sure what she means by that. Any of you guys familiar? Can add any context to that?
No idea what that means.
I just read the range controls comments.
Oh, Lord. Snork, what do you see? Now we got another comedian in here now. We got another comedian in here now.
I was laughing at the range controls comment right under that.
Yeah.
That's literally
Oh! Y'all remember when
Oh,
Joe Biden? Remember when he was it Joe Biden was like at like a Latino kind of pandering thing, and he started doing Despacito or something.
Oh God,
like that was crazy back in the day.
That was
bruh. That's like in 2020 during the primaries when like half the Democratic candidates tried to flex like their mediocre ass Spanish skills. Like at one
And that
point,
song was
Cory
not even
Booker was
popular.
speaking Spanish. I was like, yo.
I mean, it was bad with Obama, and you had all these people. Si se puede, si se puede,
yeah.
si se puede.
yeah, that's what it was. CC Tweedy, basically. I mean,
And then he said deporte.
yeah, I'm not gonna. Should I do the Obama? No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, that is correct. I'm not gonna read it out loud, but that is correct.
She's on the list.
Yeah,
She's in the book.
Joan Rivers said Michelle is Michael, and then not too long after that, it was a wrap for her.
Yeah, anybody got any questions? Just go back to that Ellen interview and just watch them dance. I'm not talking about the people dance. I'm just saying watch them dance. Up and down, they danced.
Ellen has some background issues as well that I've mentioned before.
Yeah, for sure.
Her ex-girlfriend died in a mysterious car accident before she hit it big on Johnny Carson, and she used the death in the bit that she did to talk to God in this thing that made her famous. Use it. That's what they say in acting class.
They're telling me to do it. Should I do it? I guess give a little humor. You know what? For my boy Misha, I'm gonna do it. No. Listen here. What's his name? Misha Keith. I do not support deporting the Latino population. No, I say, si se puede. Vote for Barack.
Oh my God.
That was good, Marcus. That was good. So
awesome.
So what's his name? So Anthony Mackie also does a good Barack Obama. Good shit. I like that.
And it does quite a bit more than that if you understood.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
That should do.
Yo, guys,
One of these
this
days,
is a
I was.
fun show.
One of these days, it's just one scene from a terrible actor by the name of Steven Seagal, called
He's a
Mark
great
to Death.
cop.
It's just one guy in there. What's his name? Something Wallace. Basil Wallace does a. I don't know if he's actually Jamaican or not. He could be, but it's this one scene he does. Excellent. He's like the dude comes in, talks to him. He's like, "Who do it? What? Who do it? White boy, hacha." I don't know if you guys know the scene. I probably did a horrible job with the Jamaican accent, but that part, phenomenal acting from him in there. I don't think he's Jamaican, but he's fucking convincing enough for me. I don't know. I'll let Glory be the decider. Well, Glory and Chris, you guys can be the decider on that.
I ain't gonna cap.
Yo,
I haven't
every
seen it.
Jamaican, yo,
I
every
haven't watched
Jamaican they
enough.
put, yo, really,
I'll
every
send you
time
that
they
clip so you can check it out.
every time they try to put a Jamaican into a show and it's not a Jamaican, the accent is horrible. Like it's just bad.
Because the thing that people don't realize is like it's because like when people go to Jamaica, they only travel to like the tourist places, and they're like the Jamaicans there will purposely exaggerate their accents to be so like the tourists can be like, oh ha ha ha, yeah man. So it's like so because of that, that's the perception that people get of the Jamaican accent. Like I promise you, it is not that exaggerated.
Yes, everybody does the cheap like, you hear me now, brother?
Yeah, nah.
Call me now.
Glory,
I think they all sound like Miss Cleo.
What you said now, rude boy?
Call me now. That's what they think. That's what they think they all sound like.
I love that one.
Look, you know that's what happens in Ocho Rios when you go there. Any resort in Ocho Rios, that is exactly what happens. Glory, do you follow Major Hype?
Not enough.
Oh, okay, because he does all the accents for all the people in the Caribbean. He does Haitian, Jamaican, Barbados, Bayesian. He does them all. I think it's funny as hell. Like he did one when he said he had a skit like when Ebola hits New York and everybody was calling into work. So the African dude was like, I want to you think I have Ebola? That is racist.
That when you said that part, that reminded me of Repos. You remember that Michael Blackston? He was like, "Yeah, he said, yeah, I got Ebola in my dick. I shit every 15 minutes, bitch."
419, 419.
He said, I got the 2013. He said, I wear a shacket. I got the 2013 new Big Diddy shacket.
He said, "What? You said she looked like Lil Ali. She looked more like Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, all the niggas." Oh man, y'all gotta see that movie, Repos. Oh man.
Yo, that's my shit. Yo, man, look, when we start making fun of like Haitians, Jamaicans, Africans, all that's my shit. Like I love that shit. I grew up in New York. My family's from Panama and from Jamaica, so I'm all West Indian out. I got my grandma is actually born in Cuba, born in Cuba, raised in Jamaica. So I'm all kind of confused and all over the map. But I'm just saying, like, my food is good. My belly would tell you.
Bro, right? Best food in the Caribbean. Shit.
I'll say I almost want to hear Emmanuel do. I don't want to hear Emmanuel do an accent. Come on. I know you got a good one in there.
No, I don't have a good one. No, I don't.
What are you talking about? Nikki, I never freeze.
I never freeze.
You can at least do that one. Give me a never freeze.
Never freeze.
There you go. See, I knew it. I'm like, how are we gonna have a literal African on the panel and he gonna tell me he can't do African accent? Come on. I do not accept this.
I really can't. I legitimately can't.
All right, I get
this shit.
What was another one of those funny lines in Repo, Chris? Come on, give me another one. What did he say?
Oh, I mean, there was a bunch of them in that.
He was like, how you gonna have a name TikTok and your breath stink?
Yo, I'm done. I hate y'all. Yo, we need to end this shit. I hate everybody.
Oh man.
Don't hate me.
Man. Snorky says, Snork Y2K says, I went to grad school with Michelle Bachman. Oh God. We don't have a Minnesota accent. Oh, don't you know?
Don't you all sound like that?
That's what I was gonna say. What was that show with the guy with the big head? Don't you know?
Bobby's World.
Bobby's World. Yes,
that was a good show.
Come on, Bobby.
It was a good show.
Howie Mandel.
Was a good show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Gizmo, of course.
But of course, the guy's Mike Judge for coming up with, God damn it, you kids are whacking off in my camper again. God damn it, Bobby. Like, yo, that's my favorite. Like, yo.
Oh, King of the Hill.
Those are damn boys walking off in my tool shed.
That's King of the Hill.
Beavis and Butthead.
Well, it started with Beavis and Butthead, and then it went to the King of the Hill.
Then King of the Hill.
And Daria was a spinoff of.
The one I love the best, I can't do. I used to be able to do it when I was younger. I used to be able to do, what's the one who always saw the fucking, like, black helicopters and shit?
Sounds like a really shitty Hollywood movie.
No, not Boomhauer.
Oh, the damn, I can't think of his name now.
Dale.
Dale.
No, Dale was the fucking like the. I don't know. Maybe he had too much to drink. It was in the sun too long most of the time. He was like, "What? I guess so. I forgot." He was just the like kind of the dingy dumb one. That was Dale, but I'm talking about like the fucking paranoid one all the time. He was like super paranoid, but he didn't understand that his wife was always cheating on him.
Dale Gribble. Yeah, that was Dale.
It was Dale?
Yeah, it was Dale. It was Dale Gribble.
Oh, he's right. Yeah, Dale had the fine wife who was with John Redcorn.
Right, and the running joke was that every single time his back was turned, John Redcorn was nailing his wife. And he doesn't know that Joseph is John Redcorn's kid.
Yeah.
I guess on that note, that's a good time to kind of end it here. I guess I'll plug a little bit of things I got coming up. I am working on a video to show evidence. Well, this is on my Hebrew Apologetics page. So for those who are interested in that, listen up. For those who do not care, block your ears for, about a good 30 seconds or so. But I will be doing Mount Sinai. Oh, my boy does a good John Redcorn. Yeah, John Redcorn. But leave it at that. But Hebrew Apologetics, I'm going to be doing the real Mount Sinai. That should be interesting. And then I'm going to be doing one on the location of Sodom and Gomorrah, or the believed location of Sodom and Gomorrah. So hopefully that will be entertaining. I know. Oh, yeah. Programming note. Talk of the Ages. Me and Jalen Lawson. We will be having Franco Frank Analysis. He will be on joining us Wednesday. So make sure to check that out. I'm pretty sure I know Gloria will probably be there. But, hopefully you all tune in. Hopefully you guys enjoy, the show, enjoy the laughs and jokes, because we always try to have a little bit of fun here. But,
If
that's
they
right.
don't like your co-host, Marcus, if they don't like your co-host on that program, like, don't come to me about it. I don't know who he is.
I don't know that dude. I do not know that dude. I honestly think it is you, really. This is just some Gemini man shit going on, and y'all fucking with me.
Hey, Geminis would be the one to do it, though.
You damn right.
But we
Two-sided.
But I'm a Sagittarius, though, so I'm just shooting arrows all the time.
Oh, okay.
That'll be positive for me. Oh, Idaho. Idaho. Idaho.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I'm on one tonight. I apologize. It must be the spirits. Even though I haven't drank anything that are affecting me, I don't know. Yeah, Jack. If you don't make it, don't worry. We'll have it on the recast, so it's definitely be fun and interesting. And I know, Elk, you probably got something that you need to plug. So let's hear about it.
Oh, just the last episode, like I said, of the Super Awkward Funcast, and I'm gonna do a new episode of the Funcast at the end of the month, but I wanted to do like a play, because I usually do a play at the end of the year for the Funcast, or I used to, and then the last one I did was like reading COVID-19, The Great Reset by myself. So I kind of wanted to involve some of the panel here in like a reading of The Matrix, if possible. That would be really cool. So we'll see what happens with that. We talked about it before. That's about it.
So you heard me, how I'm a pimp named Slickback.
A pimp named Slickback.
Pimp.
Let us pray. A pimp prayer.
Slickback, I plus a hole in the crack. Wow, shut that crack. Get my baby powder, hoe. All right, but this has been the Political Matrix, a little collabo show hosted with Slow News Day. So happy to have them here. It's so much fun anytime they're in the building. And Jack says, you all are the best. You are the best also. We love you. You guys be safe out there this weekend and have a good night.
Peace, y'all.
Appreciate you guys.